your coffee and wake up with the Daily Tips, Michael Jenkins.
I always stay away from the hot team in the offseason. Whenever you see everyone piling on praise, it just feels like a sucker bet.
Can you dig it, you sucker?
And Chelsea Messenger.
I don't want to lose to somebody dumber than me.
Yes.
When you're in an office pool with somebody playing fantasy football, and it's somebody who just puts it on autograph, like, I don't watch football, whatever. I don't want to lose to those people.
For the best wagertainment here on the BetMGM Network.
Hey, Dad, don't forget about me, the Dogster.
Sponsored by BetMGM. Make it legend.
Wait for it, Jerry.
Download the app today. Please gamble responsibly.
Here we go. Another great day on the Daily Tip on the BetMGM Network. It is great to be along with you. Once again, live from 6 to 9 in the East. I'm Michael Jenkins. She is Chelsea Messenger. Coming up on this midweek edition, we begin with a huge day in baseball, a huge win for the Tigers as they headline the first day of the playoffs in the MLB. So we'll get into that in 20 minutes. The Ravens get ready for Week 5 without Lamar Jackson in the lineup. Find out what that means for the boys from Charm City. We've got my streaming corner at 6:40. An early look at the games we like in the NFL, and we will talk with Cody Decker in our final hour. More baseball on the schedule. Chelsea, how you doing?
Yeah, good morning. I am so sick, but what a day of baseball we had ourselves yesterday. I surely hope that some people who are normally not baseball fans tuned in to some of this magic yesterday, because I feel like a lot of new baseball fans should have been creative last night, because boy, what a day of games it was.
Oh, it was awesome. I really enjoyed yesterday as someone who has, and I've said this to you before, someone who has sort of come back into the fold and really started to enjoy baseball over the past few years, more so than I have previously. And so to sit at home, I was working on this show for a while and had a home improvement guy over, and he's working on the fridge. I'm like, whatever. I'm just going to sit here and enjoy myself, watch some baseball. I went out after that with the lovely Catherine for a couple hours. Baseball was on the TV, and just to have it there and to be able to definitely engage in what was going on, but just have it part of my existence for an entire day was pretty awesome. I'm so glad the playoffs are here.
Absolutely, because it has a different feel to it. You have daytime baseball like every Wednesday during regular season, it just does not hit the same. You know, when every single pitching change matters so much, when every single defensive blunder could cost you a game, and it felt like there was really only one game yesterday that felt out of hand. Like the Dodgers game was really the only game that did not feel like a sweat till the very end.
Yeah, every single one just went down to the very end where all it would have taken is a swing or a base hit or something to change the complexion of a series, the complexion of the game. So it was great. We're going to get more of that today. At least that's what we hope. And our bets were nice yesterday as well. It always helps when you're watching and your bets are hitting.
Yeah, I still am going to shake my fist at the Red Sox in the first 5. Because, of course, they won the full game, but I had them in the first 5. But other than that, it was a 3-in-1 day for me. I had Tigers Guardians first 5 under 3.5, banking on the pitching matchup there, and it did not disappoint. 1-1 after 5 innings. Dodgers money line plus Blake Snell, 6 strikeouts. That was an easy winner as well. Blake Snell had 9 strikeouts. Dodgers win 10-5. Red Sox first 5 money line. They were down 1-0, and it came back to win the game 3-1. So what a performance from Garrett Crochet. But I wish I would have taken him in the full game. Cubs money line, that was the winner as well as the Cubs win 3-1.
Yeah, 3-0 day for this guy, so that was nice. I was not on the Red Sox, and I had the Dodgers -1 against the Reds. I've been playing a lot of those -1 bets, but they have been working out. If they don't work out, they generally push. So I will take that. As for the Dogster, he was on the Tigers money line against the Guardians. That was a winner, 3-1. We'll talk about that game in mere moments. For the week, Chelsea, you are 3-2. I'm 4-0. And the Dogster, 2-0 here on the Daily Tip on the BetMGM Network. Once again, thanks for being with us on a Wednesday morning, getting halfway through the week. And let's begin with that early game because it was a good one. Tigers and the Guardians getting together in Cleveland, and we've seen the Tigers, faltering again and again and again during the regular season. They needed one yesterday, and they get it with a 2-1 win over the Guardians. The Tigers -170 on the money line. Total set at 6. The under hits. Detroit gets it done with their ace and some small ball in the 7th.
9 more here today. A bunt dropped down by Zach McKinstry. Noel will go to first, and Detroit takes the lead.
Call courtesy of ESPN. So the Tigers eke out the dub, but the real story here is Tyreek Skubal and his performance. I mean, master class, best in the world stuff yesterday. 7 2/3 innings, 1 run on 3 hits, strikes out 14. And we've talked a lot about some of these pitchers. If they get in trouble, or even if they don't, will they go long in games? You don't want to wear them out. He threw 107 pitches, a season high. Hit 101 on the gun in the 7th, hit 98 on the gun multiple times in the 8th, 5 strikeouts in a row at one point, including retiring 8 of 9 via the strikeout. I mean, he was world-class yesterday, and, you know, I know sometimes fans like to see a lot of runs, but if you just wanted to see someone at the top of his craft, Tyreek Skubal was it yesterday.
Yeah, and it's wild that he threw this absolute masterclass gem, and they almost still lost the game.
Yeah.
Like, there was a chance in the end of this game where the Tigers, you know, could have blown it against the Guardians. And you're thinking to yourself, oh, my God, here comes the voodoo magic again. Because first, you have somebody get a triple off an infield hit. You know, you say to yourself, what in the world is going on with some of these defensive plays? And I keep coming back to the fundamentals matter so much in the postseason. Because there is such a small, you know, space for error because these games are so close that you see these guys who are the top 0.0001% in the world, and you think to yourself, how could they ever make a mistake? But it happens. We saw it with the Yankees in the World Series. We saw it with the Tigers almost blowing it against the Guardians yesterday. But this was a massive win. Massive, massive, massive win for the Tigers. It feels like the vibes are now cleared here. It feels like they have gotten over the hump when it comes to beating the Guardians, because it's not like Tyreek Skubal has not been pitching well against the Guardians. He has great numbers. You know, coming into this game, he had 28 innings with only 2 earned runs. So another masterclass. He set the tone here, and I feel like this is what you want from your ace. Old school workhorse type stuff. What a game from Tyreek Skubal.
He was unbelievable. I don't know if I buy the idea that they're over the hump yet, though. Like, maybe they needed this in a big way. But it's one game, and it's crazy. If you go back to the end of the regular season, Skubal faced the Guardians twice and lost both of those games despite pitching really well. I thought the key to this game happened in the 4th inning. Like, it was really close where, you know, the Guardians had runners on. There was a play at the plate. Initially, that Guardians runner was called out. They went to review, and they come back and know he's safe. And then the next play, Tyreek Skubal had to make that defensive play where he scoops it up with his glove and then scoops it to first, which was a great defensive play. But remember at the end of the season, in that final regular season game, where he tried that scoop between the legs, and then that was just a total disaster, and the wheels came off. So as soon as that ball was hit and I saw him go for the scoop, it was like, hold your breath for a second. Oh, my God. Okay. I mean, hell of a defensive play, but I feel like, for me, the game turned on that play, because if he doesn't make that play and the Guardians get another run, all of a sudden this game shifts, and maybe it's what we saw in that final regular season game. Instead, they ended the inning, and Skubal was just nails from there on out.
Yeah, I mean, that's how a lot of these games felt. Like, it felt like there were several turning points in every game where a guy, you know, strikes out somebody to end an inning. And that's why strikeout stuff, I feel like, is so important from your ace. You know, it's great to be an efficiency pitcher, but when it comes to the postseason, and guys are just going to get on base because these are the best hitters in the world. But when you can strike out somebody to end an inning and just end the threat right there, that is such a power move. And this is what you expect from your aces, and that's what we got yesterday. We had all kinds of ace-level performances from starting pitchers, and this is why it is such these teams that have number one aces, that have true ace stuff. So it's not a depth thing. It's like, hey, how good are your number one and number two pitchers, and maybe your number three? And at least when the Tigers have Tyreek Skubal going, they're going to have a chance in every game.
Did you see the camera that got broken as well? It was a swing of the bat from a Guardians player. I forget who it was. And all of a sudden the camera just shattered behind home plate. Even that was cool, I have to say. I mean, not for equipment getting damaged, but it just goes to show, like, it just sort of added to the mystique. I mean, it's not like he threw it right at the camera. It was just something about that. Like, of course, a camera would break because Skubal is just dealing in this game. And then we get another game 2 today. So Are you of the belief, I know you said this, but do you think this is it? This is what the Tigers needed? They're going to be fine now, and maybe they go on, they win this series?
No, they still need to score runs.
Yeah.
Because that's the thing. They had a masterclass from Tyreek Skubal that I don't think is going to be replicated by anybody. Casey Mize has good stuff, but he's not Tyreek Skubal. So that's the thing. Like, yeah, you feel good about finally beating the Guardians, but you got to hit something. Like, the good news is the Guardians are kind of a good matchup for you right now. I know it didn't feel like it going in, but the Guardians aren't a heavy-hitting team either. Feels like they score runs by, like, crazy turns of events where somebody gets an infield triple and then somebody scores on the next play or something. So both teams need to score some runs if they want to win games. Otherwise, it's just going to be a pitcher's bonanza. And maybe that's what we'll see in the rest of these games, because it feels like that's what we've seen for most of this series throughout the regular season.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's going to be low scoring, which might go into my handicap today when we're looking at Game 2 and the rest of the games later on in the show. How about elsewhere in the American League, where the Red Sox upset the Yankees 3-1? The Red Sox plus 115. Total bet MGM set at 6.5. The under hits. Boston's offense struggles to get going until the 7th, down 1-0.
Yoshida sends one to center field. Rafaela's going to come in. Sogard to the plate. Yoshida delivers, and Boston now leads it 2-1 as they get to the bullpen and Luke Weaver.
That's from ESPN. On the mound, starting pitcher for Boston, Garrett Crochet, was unbelievable. 7 2/3, scatters 4 hits, allows 1 earned, strikes out 11, including the side in the 5th. The Yankees had a chance here. Bases loaded in the night, no one out before Aroldis Chapman works out of the jam, and it just felt like to me, like the Yankees got to get one here, right? They have to get one, and they just did not do it. So this felt like a wasted opportunity for New York, particularly late.
All right, so let's think about this, because me and Jake were talking about this when we were sitting on the couch. Mm-hmm. So even if you score that run from third, say that the throw is in time at the plate, the out comes, and the inning is over. Like, even if you score it, you still have to score another. So,
right.
Like, I don't know if I agree with that.
That what, they blew it, or that they should have been more aggressive? Agree with what?
I don't think that they needed to be aggressive on the base pass there. Because think about it. If you get out, you in the game.
Right. Well, I mean, initially, like when I don't think it's necessarily you have to be aggressive at the end, but you can be aggressive earlier on. Like you get a guy on and maybe you find a way to sort of manufacture runs. I think maybe that's the way they could have done it. I think ultimately this just comes down to the Yankees just being inconsistent with their bats. You know, that's the one thing that stands out to me, is that as good as they are, and the Yankees, you know, when you're going down that lineup, it's just one big hitter after another. But they do have a propensity to sort of just kind of shut down in big moments, and I kind of feel like we saw that late. It's weird to say, can you trust the Yankees' bats? But throughout the season, as good as they can be, they can pile on the runs, and then they just kind of disappear for a while.
Right, like they don't get the timely hits. And we've seen this from the Yankees before. As big as their payroll is, you would think that they could score more runs. Because at the end of the day, you're not going to win many games scoring 1 run. But I will say this was the toughest pitching matchup that you're going to face from the Red Sox. When you have 7 2/3 from Garrett Crochet, who had ace stuff in that night, and then you follow it up with Aroldis Chapman, who I know did not look especially dominant last night. It felt like the Aroldis Chapman postseason experience of old. But still, he's coming off one of his best regular seasons of all time. And he's had great numbers in Major League Baseball for a long time. So when you have those two guys that you have to face, like, that is a tough matchup. But we're not talking about the Oakland A's here. We're talking about the Yankees. You know, a team that has one of the highest payrolls in all of baseball. So this is the type of stuff you're going to face. But I will say it should get easier in their next game.
It should. And also, the Red Sox have really had the Yankees' number. If you go back to the regular season, early on, it was all Red Sox. They won 8 of 9 against the Yankees, and then the Yankees kind of turned the tide at the end of the year, winning 3 of 4. But with this win yesterday, Red Sox now 10-4 against the Yankees this season. And if you go back and look at previous postseasons, the Red Sox have won 9 of their last 10 games against the Yankees in the playoffs. So they have really found ways, in many different ways, to be able to beat their arch rivals. And I don't know if that's a mental advantage for the Red Sox, but it certainly, I think, plays into it when these are your arch rivals and you have really had their number over the past few years.
I'll say this. It felt like the Red Sox weren't playing scared in this one. It felt like the Yankees kind of were. Because I think if there is any type of managerial debate, like moving forward, it's going to be how Aaron Boone handled the bullpen last night. Because Max Fried was absolutely dealing. He's your ace this year. I know he's not Garrett Cole, but still, I feel like you could have left him in maybe a little bit longer. Then you have Garrett Crochet out there dealing. The Red Sox definitely looked like the better team last night.
Yeah, and also, they don't have the pressure the Yankees had. The Yankees should win. It's New York, so the Red Sox go in as dogs, get the dub. They're playing a lot looser than the Yankees for sure. Also, the Dodgers beat the Reds 10-5. Shohei and Teoscar Hernandez each with 2 home runs, and the Cubs top the Padres 3-1. Coming up next, we'll go to the NFL and Lamar Jackson news. Next.
Chelsea and Jenks will be right back on the Daily Tip on the BetMGM network. Make it legendary. Download the app today. Please gamble responsibly.
I'm still going for it, even with higher stroke risk from atrial fibrillation, an irregular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Over a 3-year study, Eliquis apixaban tablets reduced stroke risk better than warfarin, and over 97% of Eliquis patients did not experience a stroke. A first stroke occurred in 2.9% of warfarin patients versus 2.3% of Eliquis patients.
Don't stop prescription Eliquis without asking your doctor. Stroke risk may increase. Eliquis can cause serious and potentially fatal bleeding. Don't take if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or bleed longer. A spinal injection increases blood clot risk, which may cause paralysis. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding or bruising, or back pain, tingling, numbness, muscle weakness, or incontinence. Aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners increase bleeding risk. Tell your doctor about planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Put it all together and you've got what you need to turn things all the way up. Getting started is simple. Just go to hims.com/joy to start your free online visit. Through Hims, you can access ED treatments including pills, chews, and more. 100% online. No office visits, no pharmacy lines. Just fill out a simple intake form and a licensed medical provider will determine if treatment's right for you. If prescribed, it ships free and discreetly to your door. Find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy, hims.com/joy.
GM tonight is prime time for your picks, your parlays, and your fantasy lineups.
I'm in PA. How can we help?
Had my heart set on taking Puka with Stafford's situation with his injury.
I am not moving Puka Nacua down at all. Would have supreme confidence, particularly in a PPR league.
From your fantasy dilemmas to your betting angles, Brad and Ryan will break it all down.
From South Carolina, listening on the fan of stage. JD, bring the noise.
Round 1, pick number 1. Where are we going?
I like Bijan Robinson. I mean, you can't go wrong with Jamar Chase, but I like Bijan. I bet him to win Offensive Player of the Year.
Don't sit on the sidelines. Call 833-732-3875 and get in on the action.
From Miami, a 2-quarterback league.
So I'm started in the 5th pick between Burrow, Daniels, or Saquon and Bijan.
No, I'm not going to go quarterback at number 4 overall. I'm going to go Bijan.
It's BetMGM tonight, Monday through Friday, 7 to 11 Eastern, only on the BetMGM network. Make it legendary. Get ready to experience the ultimate fusion of wagering and entertainment. This is the BetMGM Network. Kicking off your morning with the Daily Tip with Michael Jenkins and Chelsea Messenger.
Over.
It's a very simple way to look at it. It's the best way to look at it.
Followed by the newly branded Bet Sweats with Joe O and Sammy P.
When I stop talking, that's when you jump in usually.
He said, ring that bell! He said, ring that bell! Then it's You Better You Bet, hosted by Nick Costos and Femi Abebefe.
Great teams and great players get a whistle. It's happened forever. It will continue to happen.
Capped off every night with the electric Brad Evans and Ryan Horvath on BetMGM tonight.
Oh, that's a sexy phrase.
Quote Dr. Dre, creep with me and walk with me on this one.
Welcome to a new era of wagertainment. This is the BetMGM Network. Get locked into You Better You Bet with Nick Costos and Femi Abebefe, 3 to 7 p.m. Eastern on America's home for wagertainment, the BetMGM Network.
I have largely, ignored these new rules. This was the first time where it was like, holy bleep. That cost Arizona potentially the win. As Amazon is showing the replay, did Novak Djokovic's ball, touch the line or not? I'm thinking, this is a Madden mini game in real life. This is kick the ball into the landing zone. This is a video game mini game. This is the Ghost Runner in Major League Baseball on second base in extra innings. This is the Elam ending in basketball. It's a gimmick and it's horrible. And it cost a team the game.
You Better You Bet, 3 to 7 p.m. Eastern on the BetMGM Network. Make it legendary. Download the app today. Please gamble responsibly.
Welcome back to the Daily Tip with Michael Jenkins and Chelsea Messenger on the BetMGM Network. Make it legendary. Download the app today. Please gamble responsibly.
And we're back. It's a Wednesday on the Daily Tip on the BetMGM Network. Coming up. Yeah, we're heading to the NFL. The Ravens desperately need a win, but they'll have to get it without their starting quarterback and for a few weeks. Man, you know what hit me the other day? That the NBA is almost here. There's been, media days and guys getting in front of different reporters. I saw a soundbite, which was really funny, and it was Jeff Green and Kevin Durant, of course, playing for the Rockets, now KD down in Houston, and someone started a question talking to Jeff Green and said, Jeff, you and Kevin have been in the league for almost a couple decades now. And he's like, God, okay. Maybe just soften that question a little bit. But I mention that because, we're seeing basketball players sort of step to the forefront now. The season's about to begin. One of those guys, of course, is Kevin Durant. He's going to be one of the real interesting storylines this season. Trying to chase one more title there in H-Town. But he's a big football fan, big sports fan, as we know. He's a Commanders fan. But yesterday he was on Up and Adams with Kay Adams, and he talked about how upset he is that Joe Burrow is injured.
I don't care at all about any rivalries or any divisional opponent. If I build a friendship with somebody, that exceeds all of that stuff. So I want Joe Burrow to win every game because that's my brother. And unfortunately, having toe surgery and being out for 3 months, I'm wishing him well. Check up on him here in a couple weeks. But knowing his mentality and knowing how hard he works and how much he cares, he's going to bounce back and have a great season next year or whenever he comes back.
I love that. I had no idea he was such a Joe Burrow stan, but I think it has to do with great athletes respecting other great athletes, and clearly they have a relationship here.
Yeah, he's a big football fan. He works with a sports book that shall not be named, and he does game picks all the time. Just so I have this straight, he's a Commanders fan, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so when he said something to the effect of divisional rival, I'm like, what's he talking about? But I do think if anybody knows how it feels to be injured, when you really want to be out there, it's Kevin Durant. None of us, I feel can really truly relate to what these players are going through, because when we get hurt, it sucks, but we're not letting our entire team down. Not that they can help it, but you get what I'm saying. Obviously the stakes are a lot higher when you do this for a living and you are the type of superstar that KD and Joe Burrow are.
It's like I always say, real recognize real, I say that all the time. It's true though. I mean, these guys, I think it's when these guys are so good and so talented and they play at such an elite level, they just have the ultimate respect for other guys who play at that same level. Doesn't matter if it's football, basketball, hockey, whatever, because they know the work that it takes and they appreciate greatness, right? Nobody wants to see greatness taken away because of injury. And it doesn't matter to me. Like, I'm not a Giants fan. I'm a Commanders fan. But seeing Malik Neighbors go out with a season-ending injury sucks. Like, I don't want to see great players not be able to play. And by the way, injuries across the NFL are kind of wild this season. You know, CeeDee Lamb is out, Tyreek Hill is out, Joe Burrow is out. It's just Lamar Jackson is now banged up. I talked about Malik. We've seen a couple guys, big names on the Chargers offensive line. There's some big names that are not playing right now, and it's not like an epidemic or anything like that. It's just frustrating to see because I want to see the best of the best out there on the field.
Yeah, especially when it comes to like these absolute superstars at skill positions, because those are the guys that make like the big highlight reel worthy plays. And more relatably, for a lot of us in fantasy football, or even if you're playing them in props this week, because these are the guys you look to. These are not the people who are like over 24.5 yards. No, these are the guys we're expecting to have 100-yard receiving games. So it does suck all around, obviously for them first and foremost, for their team, for the fans, but also for us, the people who play props in fantasy football.
Yeah. Well, no playing Lamar Jackson this week because he is out for the next 2 to 3 weeks with a hamstring injury that he suffered against the Chiefs. This is according to the Baltimore Sun. We sort of figured this was going to be the case after he gingerly walked off the field against Kansas City. So that means Lamar not going to play against the Texans this week. Very likely out against the Rams after that. Then Baltimore gets a bye. So the hope is that he can return after that. So it's the Cooper Rush show in Charm City until Lamar Jackson returns. And, you know, I wonder, can the Ravens really end up making the playoffs without Lamar? I know they've had a tough schedule, right? Those losses are three of the best teams in the NFL, Bills, Lions, Chiefs. But at some point, you have to start winning games. Can they do this with Cooper Rush instead of Lamar Jackson? I'm starting to get the feeling or lean into the idea this is going to be a lost season for the Ravens. They just have too many injuries and things just don't seem like they're falling the right way.
Right, and we've seen this before where Lamar Jackson misses a few games and the Ravens just aren't the team and the regular season juggernaut that they once were. Like in 2021, Lamar Jackson played 12 games. And the Ravens that year finished 4th in the AFC North and finished the season 8-9. I'm trying to remember, like, just off the top of my head, I think it was probably Tyler Huntley, who was their backup there, who, if there's anybody who's like a template of Lamar Jackson, like a great value version, it's him. But still, this is a team that struggles. When you don't have somebody who is an MVP candidate and somebody puts up these wild numbers, and especially this year, when your defense is giving up, you got to have somebody like that. It feels very similar to what we saw with the Bengals, in that, you know, you lose Joe Burrow and it feels like you lose every chance of being a great team. Because the other season where Lamar Jackson only played 12 games, I will say they did make the playoffs. They finished second in the AFC North, got to the wild card, but they lost to the Bengals. They finished that season 10-7. So like maybe there's a high ceiling, like 10-7 for this team, but no longer are they the team that you maybe expect to win a bunch. But I don't know how long Lamar Jackson's going to be out, because I think that's the part that people are still wondering about. Because even when this first happened, there were people who were accusing Lamar Jackson of coming out of this game just because he didn't want to play. Because you saw him walk off the field and you're like, he doesn't look that hurt. And this game's kind of out of hand. So I'm not saying that this is a lost season just yet, because a lot of it will hinge on how many games he misses. But still, it's been a tough start, and we know the numbers on teams who start the season slow. It is just so difficult to make the playoffs. But if anybody can outscore teams once Lamar Jackson gets back, maybe it'll be the case, but it does feel very frustrating.
Yeah, I mean, he should return after that Week 7 bye, so it is a 2 to 3 week diagnosis, so it's certainly not a season-ending injury, and you would think after that rest, he comes in, and then all of a sudden the Ravens can pick up and start playing better football, but they can't afford to lose in the interim, and the lines moved almost immediately. So before this injury was announced, Baltimore was a 3.5-point favorite against the Texans this weekend. After the injury was announced, all of a sudden the line has shifted in a huge way to the other side, where now the Texans are a 2.5-point favorite in Baltimore, which is, I mean, that's a massive line movement, but it's certainly expected when you're talking about a guy as talented as Lamar Jackson. I just think when you look at how things are trending for Baltimore right now, like even with Lamar, they've struggled. But the real struggle is their defense. I mean, against the end of the game, against the Chiefs, into that game, they had 7 starters who were out. And now, Nnamdi Madubuike, out for the season. He has a neck injury. He is huge on that defensive line, and we're hearing that that might be a career-ending injury. They still need more information on that. So he's gone. He's a huge piece of the puzzle. The Ravens have the worst defense in the National Football League right now. So they're banged up. Their defense isn't playing well, and they have Cooper Rush in a quarterback who's a decent backup quarterback. And you have a Texans team that could certainly win that game. You have the Rams after that. Like, the Ravens can end up 1-5. And if they end up 1-5, if they end up 1-4, they have a really small chance of making the playoffs. They have to have a win. So this is the worst possible time for Lamar to be out of the lineup.
Yeah, especially when you have to win. You have to score 30 points, it feels like, at least to win a game, because your defense is just giving up so many points. I will say the good thing is that the Texans are still not a great team either. I know they put the beat down on my Titans, but, like, Titans are god-awful. Brian Callahan should be fired now. But the Rams is going to be tough. You know, the Bears have gotten better. But I will say this. Cooper Rush is a super viable backup option. We saw him with the Cowboys last year. And I will say this. He can at least do one thing. He can get it to your weapons, which is more than we can say about Jake Browning. You know, when you watch that game, you're like, you have Jamar Chase. You have T. Higgins. Please get them the ball. So at least from somebody who played a ton of CeeDee Lamb props last year, like at least Cooper Rush can get the ball to their playmakers. And they do have some playmakers. So maybe they're not completely cooked, but it does look like it's going to be a tough road ahead.
If you look historically at teams that have started a season 1-4, like let's say the Ravens lose this weekend, right? Let's say they lose to the Texans. They're the underdogs. Could happen. But since 1970, there have been 253 teams that have started the season 1-4. 5.9% have made the playoffs. It is exceptionally difficult to make the postseason in the National Football League if you start the year 1-4. It can happen. Last team to do it, the Washington football team. Remember those guys? The football team back in 2020? It happened then. But they need to start getting some W's. And, you know, you are right. Cooper Rush, as far as backup quarterbacks go, is a pretty good quarterback. So I think he could surprise people. The Texans defense is very good. If you're Baltimore, let Cooper Rush pick his spots and then lean on Derrick Henry. Like, try and keep that defense off the field and at least keep them fresh and let King Henry do his thing. I think he had 8 carries against the Chiefs, like fewest carries he has had in years and years and years. So let Derrick Henry get back on track. You know, let him help open up the passing game for Cooper Rush, and then keep that D on the sideline as much as you can, and maybe you can steal one in Charm City.
Yeah, and the thing is, if you're talking about, like, the divisional standings, it's not like the AFC North is having, like, a banner year. Like, it does feel like a down year for the AFC North. So right now it's the Steelers who are ahead in things 3-1 on the season. Bengals at 2-2, but now with Jake Browning for the remainder of the season, that is absolutely a team that could take a nosedive. Then you see the Browns at 1-3 and the Ravens at 1-3. So it's wild to me that even though the Ravens are 1-3 and they have Cooper Rush who's going to be standing in for maybe 1 to 2 weeks, I still feel like they have a chance. I feel like a lot of this is how much do you believe in the Steelers? And I don't think I believe in them a ton, but I will say this. They always play the Ravens closely, and if it does come down to that, like maybe the Steelers are the better team, but it's not a great division this year.
That's the only saving grace for Baltimore, that the division is bad and Jake Browning is quarterbacking in Cincinnati. Like, I still can't get over how bad the Bengals have looked over the past couple weeks. Like, no wonder Kevin Durant wants to see Joe Burrow back, like we all do. I don't want to see the Jake Browning show anymore. But the Steelers are the real beneficiary here. Like, the Steelers have to be thinking, you know what? Now we got a shot here. I don't know if I believe in the Steelers. I mean, they looked good last week. They found something with DK Metcalf. I saw that, hey, the Steelers have finally figured out to get DK Metcalf the ball in space. I'm like, yeah, that's a good idea. You guys should try that from time to time. So maybe that helps open up their offense. They certainly don't have the talent level that the Ravens have. But then again, with the injuries and the fact that Lamar's out, maybe it doesn't matter. But Pittsburgh now is maybe a threat.
Yeah, absolutely. And I will say their defense looks like they've figured things out at least a little bit over the last few weeks, allowing just 14 Patriots and 21 to the Vikings, even though that was Carson Wentz. Because the first game in the season, like, that was still a shock to me. And I know that was, a long time ago, but the fact they gave up 32 points to the Jets, when we came into this season thinking, okay, this is a Steelers defense that has a bunch of big names, and they should be good at stopping opposing teams. So maybe that's still one of my question marks about the Steelers is this defense going to be consistent throughout the year? And what are we going to see from Aaron Rodgers? Because I will say this, DK Metcalf, like, you got to be using him. As soon as he comes on the screen, you're like, oh, there's DK Metcalf, because he is such a physical freak of nature. Like, oh, my God, nobody's going to catch him. Good luck, cornerbacks. Are you kidding me? It feels like he has a foot and like 100 pounds over these guys. So we know that Aaron Rodgers and DK worked out even before Aaron signed with the Steelers, or at least, when he said he signed with the Steelers. So it should be a good connection moving forward. And I'll say this, anytime a team gets a new quarterback, maybe it's going to take a bit for that team to really find its footing. Because, you can say what you want about Aaron Rodgers, but isn't that usually the case, is that this is a team that maybe gets better as the season goes on?
I think so, especially with a Mike Tomlin coach team. They tend to do that, right? I mean, there's a reason why he's held on to his job for so long. He just finds ways to win and finds ways to galvanize his team. I know a lot of Pittsburgh fans are sort of tired of that. They're like, yeah, great. Another 9-8 season, fantastic. We'll go to the first round of the playoffs, then we get eliminated. Great. But this might be different. Also, when you look at futures odds for the Ravens, yes to make the playoffs is minus 300. No is plus 240. I'm going to put a sprinkle on no. That's a lot of plus money, because if they lose this weekend, those odds are going to shift in a big way. So for the time being, I'm willing to fade the Ravens until I see a little something different, particularly on that defensive side of the football. Coming up next on the show, the shows we've been watching this week served with a side of handsome. That is next on the Daily Tip.
Chelsea and Jenks will be right back on the Daily Tip on the BetMGM network. Make it legendary. Download the app today. Please gamble responsibly.
I'm still going for it, even with higher stroke risk from atrial fibrillation and a regular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Over a 3-year study, Eliquis apixaban tablets reduced stroke risk better than warfarin, and over 97% of Eliquis patients did not experience a stroke. A first stroke occurred in 2.9% of warfarin patients versus 2.3% of Eliquis patients.
Don't stop prescription Eliquis without asking your doctor. Stroke risk may increase. Eliquis can cause serious and potentially fatal bleeding. Don't take if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or bleed longer. A spinal injection increases blood clot risk, which may cause paralysis. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding or bruising, or back pain, tingling, numbness, muscle weakness, or incontinence. Aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners increase bleeding risk. Tell your doctor about planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Put it all together and you've got what you need to turn things all the way up. Getting started is simple. Just go to hims.com/joy to start your free online visit. Through Hims, you can access ED treatments including pills, chews, and more. 100% online. No office visits, no pharmacy lines. Just fill out a simple intake form and a licensed medical provider will determine if treatment's right for you. If prescribed, it ships free and discreetly to your door. Find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy, HIMS.com/JOY.
Get locked into You Better You Bet with Nick Costos and Femi Abebefe, 3 to 7 p.m. Eastern on America's home for wagertainment, the BetMGM Network.
Does Matt LaFleur know a touchdown at the end of overtime wins the game? Like, you win if you score a touchdown. Did he know that? And then at the end, Jordan Love has a mental, like one of the great mental breakdowns you'll ever see. What's happening with coach and quarterback there, where they don't clock the ball, they run a play, and somehow, some way, the Cowboys clock operator doesn't run it out to 0 when Love throws it to the back of the end zone incomplete. Absolute mental meltdown. This is like pimply-faced 13-year-old Nick Costos face-to-face with the hottest girl in school. Total mental meltdown. Should I call timeout? I'm in school. There are no timeouts. What does this say by the bell? Jordan Love, let's say, wants to call timeout like it's Chris Webber in 1993.
You Better You Bet, 3 to 7 p.m. Eastern on the BetMGM Network. Make it legendary. Load the app today. Please gamble responsibly. Get locked into You Better You Bet with Nick Costos and Femi Abebefe, 3 to 7 p.m. Eastern on America's home for wagertainment, the BetMGM Network.
If I have to listen to one more all 22 moron tell me that Geno Smith is one of the best quarterbacks in the league, and that our eyes are wrong. Like, you actually watch the game. Well, who cares about the interceptions? Did you see how he stepped up in the muddy pocket?
With this NBA rights deal, or the media rights deal coming in, that's what I'm saying. It's a kind of a trigger time right now. Like, it could go either way, and I hope for the best. But I think the final thing to bring up on this whole situation with the WNBA, kind of as they're moving forward with it, is, or I want to bring this up to Dylan. You were talking about their popularity. I think it's so different now. Where yes, there used to be they'd have to go overseas. But so many of these women have an immense amount of popularity just coming out of college that I think people would have followed them almost any. Now, again, stateside is what I'm talking about. It's hard when they go play overseas. But if they were stateside, and I'm just telling you, if all the women that we have mentioned, all the most popular players in the WNBA said, we're going to leave and we're going to play in this unrivaled league, only in this league, I think people would follow. I think people would follow over to them because right now, it's not so much team fandom. I think it's individual fandom because they have built up such an immense amount of popularity in college that people will follow Angel Reese if she went over there. Would follow Paige Beckers over there because they're more fans of them than their actual team. WNBA will get there as they continue to grow, but for right now, I think it's still a very individual type of league, and I hope they can all come to the resolution. I hope everything kind of works out. I thought this was a really interesting article from ESPN, where Adam Rittenberg went through when he graded all the new coordinators in college football. And I was like, well, Ohio State, we got 2 new ones. Matt Patricia is here. Brian Hartline is here. I'll give you a grade on just one of them. So that means we got to grade the other one. We'll do it. T-Bone and Tyvis right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Still no crashes to report on this early Wednesday morning, but we do want to mention we are noticing some traffic really build up, especially for folks over on the east side. New Albany, 161. 70 westbound heading into the city from Bryce and Reynoldsburg, and especially for folks in Canal, Winchester, and Pickerington. 33 that westbound direction at Gender Road. Pretty slow moving out there, so do be mindful. But hey, some good news here in other parts of the metro, looking a lot better, especially on 71 South between Frink Road and 270. It will only take you 2 minutes. I'm 10 TV's Brianna Albizu with your fan traffic.
Truck drivers, have you been searching for a more reliable driving job? Get the paychecks and predictability you need as a Schneider driver. Schneider's large selection of driving jobs means you can get the home time that suits your schedule. Choose from daily, weekly, monthly, or sometime in between. Plus, Schneider drivers have access to great benefits with a 401k match and a 24/7 support team. Get the keys to a better driving job. Search openings near you and apply now at SchneiderJobs.com.
Hey friends, it's Austin Ward. Covering college football every week shows you how momentum changes everything. That's what Awaken 180 did for me. Once I started, the progress kept building. I feel more confident, more comfortable in my own skin, and I've got energy again. The numbers matter, but the real story is how much better I feel now. If you want that kind of momentum in your life, to do it and then keep the weight off, Do what we all did and choose the solution for weight loss. Online at awaken180weightloss.com.
Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter. After years of playing college and NFL football and always searching for that edge to keep my body right, to make sure I was always in peak physical condition, I was getting beat up, I was getting older, and I needed something to help me out. And that's something, well, I didn't want it to be surgery. And so I went to see my friends at QC Kinetics. I brought my dad with me. I needed my knee helped, so did he. And they did a great job. They helped use our own body's biologics to heal us. So we went there, we talked to Dr. Ray Tesner. He's the founder of Grant Sports Medicine. So you know that he knows what he's talking about. And you don't have to have surgery. There's no knife. It's a simple injection, not a hospital stay. It's fast and it's all natural. So whether it's back, knees, hips, shoulders, they've got you covered. Call QC Kinetics today for a free consultation with Dr. Ray Tesner and his team. Look beyond that same old remedy that you've been looking for. Call 380-208-4544. That's 380-208-4544 or go to qckinetics.com/Columbus today.
I love Right Pack Credit Union because they're solution driven.
I feel valued as a member. They're focused on the latest technology and the personal connections.
Experience benefits that go beyond banking with Right Pack Credit Union. Just ask our actual members.
I definitely recommend Right Pack to all my family and friends as a credit union of choice.
Visit one of our Columbus area Right Pack Credit Union member centers near you. Based on individual members' experiences, results may vary.
At Giant Eagle, we're focused on quality, freshness, and all your favorites. Because meals bring us together. Because recipes keep traditions alive. Because the right ingredients make it or break it. Because being part of the neighborhood matters. Because what we pick up at the store is what we bring into our lives. At Giant Eagle, we're always going for better to bring you the best. Because it matters.
Hey, it's Timmy Hall, and it's party time, baby, because the Grove City Smokin' Hot Wingin' Music Fest is back Saturday, October 4th at American Nitro. From noon to 9, you get wings, beer, live music, football on the big screen, and more. Don't miss the wing eating and bobbing for wings contest either. Ooh, veterans, military, and kids under 12 get in free. Get the tickets at americannitro.com/wingfest. Presented to you by The Fan, Columbus Chamber, Brex Paving, Darby Dental, and Equipment Rental. Wingfest 2025, the ultimate fall kickoff. Don't miss it.
When it comes to all-wheel drive vehicles, nobody gives you more to choose from than Toyota, including the best-selling Camry and the best-selling RAV4.
You've also got Toyota's 5 Brothers, which include the best-selling Tacoma and the legendary new 4Runner.
All-wheel drive gives you the traction you need for confident driving on any road, in any weather.
With 25 different all-wheel drive choices, there's only one thing you need to know.
Nobody knows all-wheel drive better than Toyota. Let's go places.
All your favorite and least favorite fan shows are available wherever you get your podcasts. Just type in 971 The Fan to the search bar and hit that subscribe button. It's free.
We're the land of the free and the home of the sunburnt, freckled fat guy.
Do it now. All your favorite fan shows are available when you want them.
Head to 971thefan.com and hit that subscribe button.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. Tyvis Powell is a legendary Buckeye. T-Bone loves to eat Buckeyes. You're listening to T-Bone and Tyvis.
We're going to dive into some Buckeyes right here on The Fan. Matt Fontaine for T-Bone this morning. Tyvis here as well because Adam Rittenberg, and I got to take issue with this article in a second here, Tyvis, because he gave a grade to all the new college football coordinators. He just didn't put Brian Hartline in there. And I'm like, wait a minute. I know that he's been on the staff before, but he is technically a new coordinator. But maybe we got to come up with our own grade. Matt Patricia is in there, so I'll tell you what he gave him. But, hey, we're back on YouTube, by the way. Sorry for the issues. So we're up on 971 The Fan on the YouTube side of it. And don't forget, Ask Tyve is coming up at 7:30 this morning. So you can get your questions in on the YouTube side of it, or you can just tweet the show as well. One Tyvis. I'm at Matt Fontaine 83. You can always tweet the show. At Bone and Tyvis 971. We'll get those in. I'll give you a little preview here, Tyvis. I'm going to go baseball with you this morning. I got a baseball type question for you that we'll get to Ask Tyvis coming up at 7:30, but you can get your questions in on Twitter and as well on the YouTube side of things as well. So here's Adam Rittenberg, who went through all the new coordinators in college football. And like I said, Tyvis just for some reason didn't put Brian Hartline in here. I don't understand why. Like, he's a new coordinator, even though, like, I guess he's not on a new team. Maybe that was the parameters for this.
The only logical explanation I could think of is that technically he was co-offensive coordinator last year. He just wasn't the play caller.
He wasn't the play caller with Chip Kelly. All right, I'll give you the technicality on it, but I still want to give a grade for Hartline. But we start with Rittenberg, and he says Matt Patricia, he gets an A. He gets an A for how things have gone. Obviously, it starts with an impressive showing against Texas, and the massive turnover, right? Just complete about the Buckeyes. 15 new starters across both sides of the football. But listen, Arvell Reese, who has all of a sudden played himself into a potential first-round pick. Caden Curry, who just this past week, what was it? Walter Camp, Defensive Player of the Week. Bednarik, National Defensive Player of the Week. Nagurski, National Defensive Player of the Week. And the Big Ten Defensive Player of the Week for his amazing performance this past weekend against Oregon for Caden Curry, where, Tyvis, I think an A is so deserving for Matt Patricia because, Caleb Downs is just incredible. Like, he's just that good. But I've seen Sonny Styles play to a bigger level. Like, we're going to hear Ryan Day talk about Davison Igbinosun coming up in a little bit. Caden McDonald. I've seen the other guys step up under Matt Patricia, and I'm super happy with the job that he's done, and I think an A is so very deserving here from Adam Rittenberg.
I think that what Matt Patricia has done is he is kind of scary because you worry about him doing so well that he might be gone. That's the thing. I think that what I love about Matt Patricia is that we talk about how all these guys are so versatile. We got all these athletes, and for a lot of the time, you never see it come to fruition. He makes he makes spots and positions for guys to be able to utilize that athleticism. We've seen Caleb Downs go to the next level. We've seen Arvell Reese take it to the next level. The big concern was the defensive line, and these guys, all of them, every last one of them that come in that game has been productive. It really looks like there is no weakness, and he does a great job of calling plays to put guys in the best position to utilize their strengths. Obviously, I want them to be better in the seam routes in cover 3 and cover 1. That's another story. But outside of that, everything has been kind of flawless. I think he's given up, one touchdown on the season, and that was the OU?
They've given up 5.5 points per game.
Two touchdowns because Arch Manning got one and garbage time.
Yeah. But, again, 5.5 points per game is best in college football. And then they rank 8th in college football. They only allow 3.9 yards per play, per play ever run in any game, which is great. And the other thing Rittenberg brought up here, that Ryan Day said this back in the spring, kind of right when Matt Patricia got there, but he said his players love him. The players love Matt Patricia, where I think there's a little difference of the college side, and obviously, Tyvis, you could speak to this, and I'd love to hear your thoughts on this, where, the pros are, this is your job, it's much more professional, and I don't want to say that it's more cold, right, because I think you still have coaches that care about you and, look out for your well-being. But college is more that, right? College is more the development. You're looking out for these young men as they play football and all that kind of stuff. And I just wondered about that with Matt Patricia, but it sounds like him coming in with just his style and even with his personality, he's really ingratiated himself with his own players.
No, yeah, I think that they love him. That was one of the things that I gathered from the spring, just talking to him in the spring and then talking to some of those guys, they all love him and he understands them. And, it's so crazy that he gets such a bad rep because of what happened with the Lions and how all those players kind of bad talked him, that everybody kind of had an opinion. But, since he's been here at Ohio State, all I've heard is how everybody loves him, how they got so much respect for him, how they want to learn from him because he's so open to teaching them new things. And obviously, he's been in so many different schemes. He just, his knowledge of the game is just incredible. And he's doing a really good job of passing that on. And I love the fact that the players is hungry to get that knowledge out of him, so the relationship that he has with them has been great, and that's why they play hard. That's why they ultimately go out there and play as hard as they do, because they have so much love and respect for Matt Patricia.
it's the final thing on it, too. You mentioned about him potentially leaving, and certainly that could happen. But I'm also hoping this is a guy that tried the head coaching route. Like I said, didn't go well. He's been maybe he just is, I'm happy doing this. I tried it. I had my bite at the apple. Everybody usually gets back in line, to run through it again to try to be a head coach second time. But I think a lot of people, it's not a lot, but some coaches could sit there and say, I tried that. That's not for me. At least I got a chance to do it, and maybe I'm just really happy being here in Columbus, being the DC, and knowing that you keep doing it, you can be here for 20 years. You can be here forever, being a coach, and hopefully he'll love it. Speaking of football, you're not going to want to miss it today. Adam Schefter, 12:30 today on Rothman and Ice. Bobby Carpenter's going to be on that show today. Comment and Timmy today. Name drop on Jeff Rimmer. Just a week out for the Jackets, baby. Regular season around the corner. Preseason wrapping up. And Jake Trotter talking about college football. He's going to be joined at Bo this morning at about 10:30. So we got you locked and loaded all day right here on The Fan. We're going to hear from Ryan Day, press conference. He talked about David Igbenos and a lot of his defenders. We'll get to all that coming up. Tebow to Tyvis here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Well, for commuters downtown, we will be seeing some lane closures starting today on High Street. It's right over 70, where one lane in each direction will be limited out there. We also have some restrictions. When it comes to High Street in that southbound direction, it will be pretty restricted access to East Livingston Avenue. Crew members will be out and about, so make sure to plan ahead. I'm 10 TV's Brianna Albizu with your fan traffic.
Care Heating and Cooling. When you need a company you can trust, call 1-800-COOLING.
I'm Leslie from Pella Columbus.
And I'm Wilson from that other window place.
Wilson, we've got a problem at Pella.
I like where this is going.
Because of Pella's reputation and quality, a lot of folks assume that we're out of budget.
Oh, that's too... Oh, I hate hearing.
But we've actually got 5 awesome window lines that fit any budget, from the $300,000 to the $3 million home, and far from the most expensive.
So you actually don't have a problem. Awesome.
Get the windows that Columbus homeowners rated the leading window brand at PellaColumbus.com.
Did you want information on the Ohio Lottery's Rolling Cash 5? Okay, Rolling Cash 5 is a daily draw game where you select 5 numbers from 1 to 39 and win by matching 2, 3, 4, or 5 numbers. Jackpots start at $100,000 and grow until someone wins. You can learn more at OhioLottery.com or the Ohio Lottery app. Lottery players are subject to Ohio laws and commission regulations. Play responsibly. Want to go back to the radio? Okay.
When you're building a nursery school, elementary school, charter school, high school, vocational school, or jiu-jitsu school, lean on green. Sunbelt Rentals. With the largest rental fleet and most rental locations in Columbus, you can count on us to get you the right equipment at the right price right now. No matter what you got going in or going up. All powered by people. For equipment know-how, support, transport, and training. No wonder the Columbus builders who are building Columbus lean on green. Sunbelt Rentals. Learn more at sunbeltrentals.com.
AmeriHealth Caritas Ohio is your Medicaid plan for more benefits, more rewards. We know that good health means more than just seeing a doctor when you're sick. Eligible members can receive extras like home-delivered meals and family essentials, like baby carriers and kids' school supplies. Members can even earn rewards for playing mobile health trivia games. Learn more at AmeriHealthCaritasoh.com and call the Ohio Medicaid Consumer Hotline at 1-800-324-8680 to choose AmeriHealth Caritas Ohio.
Bet365 is paying out before the final pitch. Check out Bet365's unrivaled early payout offer. When you bet on a team to win and they take a 5-run lead, you get paid no matter the final score. Forget the final out and start counting that cash.
Hold up, players. You get an early payout on parlays, too. Download the app and see why it's never ordinary at Bet365, the official sports betting partner of the Cleveland Guardians. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Ohio. Terms and conditions apply, and app only.
2 blockbuster game shows. 1 jackpot-sized night. Fox Tonight, the floor is back with a Stars and Stripes showdown.
I'm Rob Lowe, and it's a state-against-state battle.
Then,
84 players remain.
Ken Jeong and Aaron Andrews host the new $1 Million Game Show, where the games look simple.
Players must catch potatoes with a fork.
Until the pressure's on.
Know what it's like to unfreeze a pair of pants?
To win the $1 million, they've got 99 to beat.
Tonight, starting at 8 on Fox 28. At the end of the day, the sun sets on Central Ohio, but stories are still unfolding.
Every voice, every neighborhood, every question that still needs answers. Fox 28 News at 10 is there in the quiet moments and at the turning points, digging deeper, finding solutions, lifting up the communities that shape who we are. At the end of the day, you deserve a team that's on your side. Fox 28 News at 10, always on your side.
Finally, fall is here. The leaves are changing, the air is crisp, and the cooler temperatures are a welcome relief. But as those temperatures continue to drop, it's also a reminder that winter is just around the corner. We know it might feel a little early to start talking about freezing temperatures and snow, but now is the perfect time to make sure your roof is ready. Before the winter weather hits, wouldn't you like the peace of mind that your home is protected? If you're unsure about the condition of your roof or just want to be prepared for the months ahead, call the professionals you can trust at Newman Roofing. With over 30 years in business and 3 generations of Newmans in the roofing industry, we're dedicated to educating you about your roof so you understand exactly what's happening. We believe that an informed homeowner can make the very best decision for their needs. Give us at Newman Roofing a call today at 614-NEW-ROOF. That's 614-NEW-ROOF, or visit us online at newmanroofing.com. Let Newman Roofing help you prepare for winter the right way.
Your climate hero.
When your furnace or air conditioner is broke, we come out that same day. Dormar, home the Tin Man.
Ready for your next truck? At Krieger Ford, we have just what you're looking for. Trade in your vehicle and get a new Ford F-150 with a black appearance package for $11,000 off MSRP. It's all part of the Krieger commitment. Best cars, best people, peace of mind. Visit us today on Morris Road in Columbus or find your new truck at KriegerFord.com.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus.
Good morning, I'm Dylan Gonzalez. It was a rough day for the Ohio baseball teams yesterday. Let's start in Cleveland. The Guardians hosted Tyreek Skubal and the Detroit Tigers for Game 1 of the American League Wildcard Series. It was a pitcher's duel as both Skubal and Gavin Williams pitched well, but in the end, the Tigers would come away with a 2-1 victory. Game 2 will be at 1 o'clock today up in Cleveland. Casey Mize and Tanner Bybee is the expected pitching matchup. Out in L.A., the Cincinnati Reds visited the Dodgers for Game 2 of the National League Wildcard Series. This game wasn't as close as the Reds trailed 8-0 at one point and eventually fell 10-5. Game 2 is tonight in Los Angeles at 9 o'clock. You can catch that game over on The Fan, too. This update was sponsored by Awaken 180 Weight Loss. It's great to have goals. It's even better to have experts to help you attain those goals. Experts in weight loss. Awaken180weightloss.com.
Your home for football, food, and fun. You're listening to T-Bone and Tyvis.
Buckeyes getting ready to go against Minnesota this weekend, and in part of that, going to be the defense. We talked about Matt Patricia and the job that he's done. A lot of that has to do with his players. Ryan Day giving some flowers to some of his guys. T-Bone and Tyvis this morning right here on The Fan. I'm Matt Fontaine in for T-Bone. He's Tyvis Powell. Get your questions in. Ask Tyvis coming up 7:30. So you can send them on the YouTube chat, which is now fixed, by the way. 97.1 The Fan. Thank you to whoever fixed it, Dylan. I give you credit. I don't know if you deserve it, but it's fixed. Congratulations.
No, I called people smarter than me to fix the issue.
Sometimes you just got to know your own limitations.
Right.
Man. Did you plug... I had a college professor once yell at me. He goes, "Don't ever call me until you've unplugged it and plugged it back in." He goes, "Once you've done that, then you're allowed to call me with any technical problems." So once I've unplugged it and plugged it back in, that's pretty much all I can do. But we're fixed. We're back up on YouTube, 971 The Fan there. Or you can tweet it at Bone and Tyvis 971, 1 Tyvis at Matt Fontaine 83, Dylan G Radio. Get your questions in for Ask Tyvis coming up. Let's hear from Ryan Day, of course, undefeated Ohio State, #1 betting favorite, by the way, for the national championship, which we'll get to that coming up a little bit later in the show. But yesterday talked a lot about his defense and some of the guys on the defense. And, you know, Davison Igbinosun, which we'll hear from Ryan Day here in a second, but Tyvis, I think, has done so far exactly what he is out to do in returning to Ohio State. You know, there were people that thought he was going to go to the NFL last year. He didn't. Wanted to come back, work on some things, and so far has done that. Reduced the penalties. Let's hear from Ryan Day talking about Davison Igbinosun and what he brings to this defense.
Davison has always brought an edge to him. That's why I love having
IGB around me. He just brings great energy to the table. There's an edginess, there's a toughness, there's a competitiveness, a grittiness, and he's aggressive. Did he cross the line last year? I mean, you guys can be the judge of that, but we love the competitiveness. He had to learn technically, what he needed to do to improve that so that we didn't hurt the team. But his edge, and that rubs off on a lot of guys. I mean, this is a team sport, and I say that all the time. Your body language, affects other people on the team. And the minute he walked on our campus, he's had an effect.
I love it because, Tyvis, I was so excited when they got Davison Igbinosun to transfer out of Ole Miss. The size, which I'm always a big fan of when you talk about corners, he's got it. And I think that kind of lent itself to some of those penalties last year, where he was just relying more on his size and being able to be more physical, when corner is an extremely technical position. So I'm happy for all of us. First off, I'm happy he came back because I think he's going to be a huge part of this defense as they push towards the national championship. But I also think it's going to help him a lot because it is going to reestablish maybe some draft value that people had questioned. And I think it's just working out so well for everybody involved. And to Ryan Day's point, he brings something to that entire defense, which had a lot of turnover. So to have a guy that has started a lot of football games for you over the last couple of years to be there, I just love it. I'm so happy for Davison.
So what people don't realize is that Davison Igbinosun is the reason why a lot of the players on the defense got that grittiness and that toughness and that competitive edge last year. Because this was a guy, when he got here, right, the guy that was at corner was Denzel Burke, right? And Denzel Burke was walking around like, hey, I'm that guy, I'm the number one corner. Well, IGB came in and he said, I don't care who you is. I'm the number one corner here, right? So what it did was it started a competitive environment. So now guys started competing. And it started in weight rooms. It started with training. And everybody on that defense started to get an edge to them because they live to compete. They love to compete. And that ultimately came because IGB got here. So he was a big reason why that defense got the identity that he has. Now, let's talk about him individually. Last year, we know that he had all the penalties, and it was a lot of the holding and a lot of the PIs. And corner is a tough position. How you clean that up is you got to be better at the line of scrimmage. When you're playing press man-to-man, you want to win at the line of scrimmage and be on top of the route. When you're on top of the route, you don't have to grab. You don't have to do all those things because you are in control of the route. I think he's done a much better job of winning at the line of scrimmage and not getting beat. Therefore, when the ball is in the air, he's not panicking. He's not trying to grab anything because he's in perfect position to play the ball. And I think that's what he needed to do this year to become a top corner. That's the reason why he came back, because he wanted to be a first-round corner. I think he's actually on record saying that I want to be a first-round corner. And he continues to play solid like he is. He will ultimately be that. I think that there's been games where he's traveled with number one wide receivers, and he's done a really good job of being able to play defense on those guys. My only challenge with him is to get more interceptions, which he did. He had some big interceptions last year. I go back to the Penn State one in the red zone where he had that interception. Like, those are big-time plays. That's something that they want to see on the next level. A corner that can play the ball well and get interceptions is always at a premium in the NFL. And if you want to become a first-round pick, get your hand on the football.
Well, you mentioned what Davison brought to the defense, little edge, because they had a lot of turnover. Maybe the hardest hit was that defensive line and the pass rush and things like that. So let's hear from Ryan Day yesterday talking about some of his guys on the D-line.
And you're seeing KJ play with just great energy in the game. I mean, his body language, in my opinion, was as good as I've ever seen it. He played with great poise. He was encouraging his teammates. I thought he showed great leadership in the game and played really, really well. Caden Curry. I mean, Caden's somebody who has played a lot of football here, special teams-wise, and has made a lot of plays, but now he's a key contributor. And, he's had his ups and downs along the way. But, in this program, between what goes on the field, what goes on in the weight room, what goes on off the field here, if you hang in there and you just continue to put one day in front of the other and build resilience up, you're going to get maximized. And those are two great examples of it.
That was Ryan Day talking about some of his guys on the defensive line, and that's the thing, Ty. It's like not many people, well, I guess maybe even prior to this week, knew about Caden Curry. He has his coming out party, certainly. But, yeah, like you said, with other guys that are stepping in there, I think it's crazy that even like Bo Atkinson hasn't even quite had that breakout type of game yet for the Buckeyes either. But Caden McDonald playing so well in the interior too, and that was the unit that you looked at and you kind of circled and said, listen, I felt really good about the DBs. I felt really good about them. The linebackers, I loved it. I was waiting for Arvell. I just kind of looked at that D-line. And I was like, man, if they can show up, this defense can be everything that we've talked about. And here they are, 5.5 points per game, under 4 yards per play, top 10 in the NCAA on that, best scoring defense in the NCAA. Like, I think a lot of it has to do with the guys that have stepped up on that defensive line.
Yeah, no, I think that, those guys took it very personally. The thing is, people think that players don't hear the noise. After the spring game, the one thing everybody talked about is D-line. Oh, I don't know about that D-line. I know about the rest of the defense. That D-line. They heard that, and they've done a really good job of quieting that noise. And when you talk about a guy like Caden Curry and K-Mac, what I like about those two is, especially Caden, like the fact that he had this breakout game and it wasn't against like OU or Grambling State. Sure. It was actually against a really good Washington football team. Mm-hmm. Like that holds weight to me. Like this guy deserves to be mentioned in the breaths of the Jack Sawyers and all those things because he's making big time plays in big games. That Washington game was a big game. I know that scoreboard wise they went out there and handled business, but it was a big game because it was on the road and all of those things that came with it, and Washington was on the heater and all those things. For him to have that dominant performance tells me that this is where he's supposed to be doing, and I love the fact that he stepped up. We talk about Caden McDonald, who's grading as one of the best interior D linemen in the country right now. I think he's number 2 in the PFF grade. This is stuff that I wanted to see, that you needed to see. You need to have a dominant defensive line. If you really want to have a dominant defense, it starts with the D-line. And so far, everybody's doing exactly what I thought they would be doing. They're actually overachieving because when you replace an entire defensive line, it's very tricky to put new guys in there and try to get that same production from a group that won the national championship. But so far, they are answering that bell.
Yeah, and, Ryan Day kind of mentioned about them having to wait, too, for their turn. And I think that's the thing. They weren't household names just because they were playing behind, good players and future NFL players. And, so now that they've gotten their chance, it's like, no, these guys are still super, uber talented, right? They're at Ohio State for a reason. So now that they just have their opportunity, they're certainly making the most of it, which is great to see. All right, let's hear the final thing here from Ryan Day. Let's preview Minnesota a little bit as they take on the Golden Gophers, who are 3-1, lost a close game to Cal, one that you might look at and say, all right, kind of a little bit of a alert, but the Buckeyes are giant favorites. It's a night game. But let's listen to Ryan Day as he's talking about Minnesota's run defense.
They historically have played very, very physical against the run and continue to do that. I thought Rutgers had a really good game plan going in, but they're well coached and play really, really hard and have good players. I respect PJ Fleck as much as anybody in the country and their coaching staff and how hard they play, and so it'll be a challenge. You don't play Minnesota and think you're just going to run the ball without a lot of hard work. And so we're working hard this week to put a good game plan together, and then we need to put that to work here. On a Tuesday practice and a Wednesday practice and a Thursday practice to get ourselves prepared to go play. And that's the routine that we're looking to master right now. So team meeting at 2:30, and we'll have a buddy Tuesday and get to work on it.
There it is, Ryan Day getting ready to go for Minnesota. It's homecoming at the Shoe. It's a night game. 24.5 points is the spread for the Buckeyes, so should take care of business. But again, just always got to be on alert with, I think, any Big Ten team, except maybe Rutgers. But it's Minnesota this weekend for homecoming, which is going to be a lot of fun. We'll go back to the pro side of things because talking about the Browns potentially changing quarterbacks coming up this week. Should the Bengals take a page out of that book? Talk about it next year on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Good morning and welcome to your Wednesday. Still no crashes to talk about on the roads this morning, but we are noticing a lot more drivers out there, especially if you live in the southeast corner. 33, that westbound direction at Gender Road, probably the worst we're seeing right now when it comes to slowdown. Still not as bad as what we're used to seeing pretty much in other days. So do be mindful there. It gets a lot better past that area over by Hamilton Road and continuing on 33 in that direction towards downtown. Other than that, New Albany just a little bit slower this morning too. Not only 161 eastbound by Beach Road, but also 62 eastbound over by Smiths Mill Road. Noticing some red on our time saver traffic map. I'm 10 TV's Brianna Albizu with your Fan Traffic.
Fan Traffic is sponsored by Green & Sons. Family owned and operated for over 45 years. Green & Sons will help you find your next Kubota tractor. Located in Mount Sterling and north of Marysville. And online at greenandsons.com.
This is Jeff for Tri-State Men's Health, where we've successfully treated thousands of men for low testosterone and helped them feel like their old selves again. Please take a moment and listen to how we help Tom.
Hi, my name's Tom. I've been a patient at Tri-State Men's Health, and I'm being treated for low testosterone. I didn't really notice the issue of just the energy and feeling slow in the middle of the day and waking up feeling as if I hadn't even gone to bed. When I walked into Tri-State Men's Health, I was extremely impressed from the get-go with the results of the treatment. I wake up in the morning now with clarity. I have had more energy in working out. I definitely have increased my strength. I would say that if there are men out there who experience some of the same problems that I did with inability to sleep well and waking up without feeling refreshed and having your energy flagging throughout the day, go see Tri-State Men's Health. It's changed my life and it'll change yours too.
Thanks, Tom. Call 800-900-9654 or go to tristatemenshealth.com.
Listen up.
Y'all know what time it is.
Abbott Elementary returns.
Miss Shementi will no longer be teaching second grade. She'll be moving up to teach middle school math in homeroom.
New year.
Preteens are very different than second graders. Every day is like an episode of Scared Straight. What?
Same Abbott.
We live in a post-truth landscape, and these kids hit below the belt, which is where you haven't been touched in years.
Abbott Elementary season premiere.
Tonight at 8:30 on ABC 6.
Good morning, Columbus. It's going to be a good day, and it's going to be big. With the biggest morning news team in Central Ohio, Good Day Columbus. The biggest news, weather, and traffic in town every day. Bringing you over 5 hours of breaking news, live reports, and continuing coverage, and stories that'll make you smile. First Warning Weather gets you ready for the day ahead, and Steer Clear Team Traffic will get you to work on time. Good Day Columbus, weekday mornings on ABC 6. It's going to be a good day.
At Kroger, you never compromise. You get high quality and low prices. Like you never compromise your meal with our spring salad mix that's guaranteed fresh. And you never compromise your budget with lower prices on over 1,000 items. Hand it to Kroger shoppers. You never compromise. Kroger. Fresh for everyone.
Fresh Tyson Natural Chicken Bone-In Drumsticks, thighs, or wings are on sale. Select varieties or buy one, get two free with your card. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Hey, Buckeye fans. As the official wing sponsor of Ohio State Athletics, Roosters is kicking off an incredible giveaway you won't want to miss. This football season, we're giving away 12 ultimate Buckeye experiences. 3 drawings, 12 winners with prizes including tickets, sideline passes, and 3 trips to a Buckeye first-round postseason game. Go to roosterswings.com to register and see all the details. 3 drawings, 12 amazing prizes. Register today and every day. Roosters, a fun, casual joint.
At the Ohio Lottery, we make Keno fun. Your way. That means you pick your wager. Will it be $1, $2, a crisp $20? Your call. Like picking your own numbers? Use any inspiration you like. Birthdays, jersey numbers, you name it. And if you don't feel like choosing, there's the Super Quick Auto Pick. With regular promotions that'll get you more bang for your Keno buck, multiple ways to win, prizes galore, and live draws every few minutes. Anytime is the right time to get in on the Keno action. Keno is always fun, your way. Lottery players are subject to Ohio laws and commission regulations. Play responsibly.
Helping a new driver get ready for their road test? Here's a convenient new way to make the most of your 50 hours of required practice driving time. The Road Ready Ohio app, available now at no cost to new drivers and their families. Road Ready Ohio keeps track of your driving experience together, providing feedback and safe driving tips. It even generates the documentation you need for the Ohio BMV. The Road Ready Ohio app. Free to download in the Apple and Google App Stores.
Join Rothman and Ice every Thursday at 2:30 for Gold Jacket Thursday.
Presented by the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
A new Hall of Famer joins the show every week.
But not OJ, because he's dead and probably a murderer. The Fan. Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Starting off the morning very crisp and refreshing, more like fall with temperatures in the 50s, but then we turn to summer this afternoon with our daytime highs in the low 80s and plenty of sun. For tonight, partly cloudy skies and lows in the 50s, and then for Thursday, a few more clouds mixing in with that sunshine and highs around 80 degrees. For the Fan, I'm meteorologist Meredith Garfolo with the 10 weather impact forecast.
1, 2, 3. Here at the Fan is always football o'clock. Proud to be your home of the Buckeyes, Browns, and all the NFL games you can handle. The Fan. The only contraband hiding in Tyvis's butt cheeks is a Kit Kat bar. You're listening to T-Bone and Tyvis.
So we're talking about the Browns potentially going to Dylan Gabriel, their rookie quarterback this weekend. Should the Bengals get on out there and make a change at their quarterback spot? T-Bone and Tyvis this morning. Tyvis Powell, I'm Matt Fontaine in for T-Bone. Ask Tyvis coming up. We're 10 minutes away. You can tweet the show at Bone and Tyvis 971 The Fan or 971 The Fan on Twitter, on YouTube. Get those messages in. Any question you got for Tyvis, anything in the world, because I was going we'll get to it coming up. I was going to ask you a question that I think I already might have asked you. So I'll tell you what, I got a backup one, but I got to start with a question. We'll get to that in 10 minutes with Ask Tyvis coming up here on The Fan. So you're looking at the Bengals, Jake Browning ain't getting it done. And I think you went into Monday night. I get that Denver is a good team. You put up 3 points. At this point now, Browning, 3 touchdowns to just 5 interceptions. He's only got a 42 QBR in 3 starts. And again, or not 3 starts, but 3 extended games of action with Joe Burrow going down. 21-32 in the game that they did beat Jacksonville. And I think that was the game that everybody goes, oh, all right, okay, like maybe we can make this work with Jake Browning while Joe Burrow is out. Since then, they go out there, get demolished by Minnesota 48-10, and I get Minnesota's a very good team too. In that game, only threw for 140 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. He was sacked 3 times. And then this Denver outing, 14-25, buck 25, no touchdowns, no picks, also sacked 3 times. But you could see in that game the frustration on Jamar Chase on the sidelines. And I just think I get where the Bengals said, all right, listen, I love when teams say, we love our backups. We love our backups. We love them. And I go, I'm sure you do. But you love them as a backup. That's why they're a backup. No team really wants to see their backups actually have to play, and especially at the quarterback position. You know, kind of putting a guy in at D-line might be a little bit different. Okay, you got to start a new guard. That's fine. Quarterbacks, no. You don't want your backup in the game because if you were happy about them, they might be your starter. And I'm not trying to just pile this on Jake Browning. I think he's fine for what he is. But Tyvis, like this Bengals team, even with the defensive issues and Hendrickson, who looks all banged up, by the way, it looked like he was getting hurt in that game. But I actually see the defense making plays on the Bengals side of it. You still got Jamar Chase, still got T. Higgins, you got Chase Brown. I really think the team is doing a disservice by not going and getting a quarterback now. Because I understand Joe Burrow will be back. Well, maybe will be back this season. But if you lose 2 of your next 3 games, like, he's not going to come back. Season's going to be washed. It's going to be over. So you want to try to keep this thing alive for Burrow to even get back. And I get that, the Bengals are 2-2, and so like, they got Detroit this week. Okay, all right. Good luck. Like, and the options are limited, right? Like, what do? Go get Russell Wilson, pull him out of New York. Go try to move some money around with the Falcons for Kirk Cousins, go get Garoppolo. I don't know. I can't believe that there's not more buzz around the Bengals trying to go find a different quarterback.
So I think right now, when you look at Cincinnati, they're pretty much in lockstep with what Cleveland got going on. I think that the problem with sports, football in particular, is that sometimes the front office is on one page and the coaching staff and the team is on another. When you're a coach or a player, your job is to go out there and we're trying to win every game as possible. to where front office is try to look at the bigger picture. We're not going to be good this year. We're not making the playoffs. We're not winning the Super Bowl. So let's just not be good, get a higher draft pick, and get that player that can help us. And I think that's where we are. They're at a crossroad right now, sitting at 2-2, going up against Detroit. I know they don't think they're going in Detroit and going to win that game. You can't think that with the way that Jake Browning has played these last couple of weeks. But you've told everybody that you're going to keep him, or you're going to keep whoever's on your roster as a starter, because if you was going to make a trade, that would have happened Monday or Tuesday, because you want to get that guy in there to learn the playbook and try to get him ready for Sunday. We're on Wednesday. That's not happening. You're not trading for somebody on Wednesday and think he's going to be the starter on Sunday. It's just not. Only person that's ever done that is Baker Mayfield. That's not happening, right? So I think that you're going to probably be 2-3, and you're going to have to make some decisions. And that comes to your front office. You look at it like 2-3, okay. You look around the division. The division is kind of open. Pittsburgh obviously is the ones that's the favorite to win. They got the best record. They don't have any injuries, and they're doing well. So, they have to ask themselves, can we catch Pittsburgh? Do we want to put ourselves in contention that when Joe Burrow comes back, we can still have a chance to make a late playoff push? That's asking a lot out of a guy who's coming off of injury. So, to me personally, they might be on the same trajectory as the Browns, where it's like, what's the point of winning? What's the point?
I have to admit, I was totally off about this. The Monday after Jake Browning had to come in for Joe Burrow, Matty Ice immediately on their show said, bring in Jameis Winston. And I was like, no, Jake Browning 2 years ago, he filled in for Joe Burrow. They went 4-3. He looked okay. I think he can do a similar job as he did 2 years ago. Well, it's not looking like that at all through two starts. I mean, the offense looks super inept, but I mean, Tyvis, unless you're right and the Bengals front office is like, you know what, let's just call this season a wash with Joe being out, I don't understand why they're not going out and getting Jameis Winston. Or like you said, Matt, at least there being more buzz around them bringing someone in, at least bring them in to back up Jake Browning. And then if he has another bad game, then you can bring him in after he's been there for a couple of weeks. But going back to what you said, Tyvis, I think the Browns front office is done with this season. And you said the Steelers look like the favorite. I've been saying it. Print the shirts. Steelers, 2025, 2026 AFC North champions. It's over already. Everyone else in the division looks so bad, and I think the Ravens dug themselves too much of a hole that I don't think Cincinnati or Cleveland or Baltimore can catch Pittsburgh, even though it's only October 1st.
Oh, and wait, Lamar, hamstring, weeks. So just the Steelers falling ass backwards into this again. Just, oh, man, does that burn me? But anyway, that's a whole nother conversation. They just falling. They didn't do anything. Just fell into this.
Aaron Rodgers back.
Yeah, the gift just handed to them. Here's the thing I don't think. Listen, this is going to sound like I'm really scolding the Brown family, and they don't need me scolding them. But here we are. Do they not understand? You're pissing off Jamar Chase. Okay, you're pissing off T. Higgins. And you might say, well, they're under contract and they'll deal with it. If I was Bengals ownership, do you not just owe it to some of your other star players? I get that Joe Burrow's the franchise, and there are some hot takes out there that I really might start subscribing to. They're not going to go anywhere, Joe, because he can't stay on the field. Now, right or wrong, it's not his fault he got turf toe, right? It's not his fault that it's football. Guys get hurt. But he's the investment. He's the franchise. And when he's out there, he's an MVP. He's one of the best players in the league when he's out there and he's healthy. The problem is he's not out there all that much. So that's a whole other conversation. But then I look to the rest of the team and say, don't you owe it to those guys? Don't you owe it to them to at least not have to go out there every week feeling well, do this again with Jake Browning? That would be more my concern with the Bengals. And this isn't even a cash thing. This isn't even meant to be a jab about the money that they spend. You could probably go get somebody relative for a 5, right? Go give up a 5th-round pick, take on some meaningless salary, and just give the guys a little bit of hope. Now, you're right. It takes 2 to tango. You can call the Giants, and they go, nope, we're keeping Jameis Winston. I don't know if Russell Wilson, obviously seeing how he has played, I know he had the career game, against Dallas, but certainly lost the job now. do you want to go get one of those guys? They might sit there and say, nope, none of it's really worth it, but I just don't find. I wouldn't believe that, Tyvis. If I was Jamar Chase sitting in that locker room, I wouldn't be believing if they're trying to sell me. Like, well, there's not an upgrade to be had. There's got to be an upgrade out there somewhere.
No, I mean, if you offer a 5th-round pick, the Giants would jump all over that because they're done with both of those guys anyway. So if you could get something for them, absolutely, you take it. But I just think that I personally think that they see that it's a lot of holes there. As far as Jamar Chase and T. Higgins, they in the same boat as Myles Garrett. You took the money. You knew what the situation was. You took the money, so it just go sit back and be quiet because you took the money.
You hope Joe Burrow's going to stay healthy. That was kind of maybe more, the difference than Myles Garrett. Still just laugh when he goes, they have a plan. They told me what the plan was. Oh, yeah, was this the plan? Was Kenny Pickett the plan? Was Shadori Dillon the plan? Myles Garrett in the offseason telling everybody after he signed his deal, like, the Browns kind of maybe told me what their quarterback plan was. I got a feeling he was lied to. We've all had it happen to us before, but I got a good feeling that Myles Garrett got lied to in that whole thing. I don't want anybody to lie to Tyvis or I don't want Tyvis to lie. We got to ask Tyvis coming up. So I have 2 questions. I think I've asked this question, but it's something related to my personal life that I've been dealing with here recently, and I'm very proud, and I just want to let everybody know about something that happened to me. So I got a question for Tyvis. Get him in YouTube chat. Get him in on Twitter, 971 The Fan. Bone and Tyvis, Dylan G Radio, 1 Tyvis, at Matt Fontaine 83. Drop the files. We'll get to ask Tyvis in just 2 minutes.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
One more day when it comes to a ramp closure over on the east side. And I want to give you another reminder because it is happening over by the airport. It's at 270 southbound ramp to 62. Again, we'll be closing tonight, 12 a.m. to 5 a.m. in those overnight hours. But folks, the detour, thankfully, is not too bad. Take 270 southbound to Hamilton Road. Get off there. Loop back on to 270 northbound. That gets you to 670 westbound and back on to 62. I'm 10 TV's Brianna Albizu with your fan traffic.
When it comes to your roofing, siding, or gutter needs, call Newman Roofing. 614-NEW-ROOF. NewmanRoofing.com.
It's the Valley Ford Fall Super Sale. Mustang EcoBoost, Mach-E, Escape Active, Bronco Sport, just $399 a month. F-150 and Explorer models, Bronco Big Bend, Mustang GT, only $499 a month. Lease all with 0 down or buy from a big Ford lineup with 0 down, 0 payments for 90 days, and 0 APR for 48 months, like Carnell Tate says.
The game-winning deal is always at Valley.
Keep on trucking with Valley Ford of Columbus.
All leases 36 months, all offers with approved credit. See Valley for details.
I'm Leslie from Pella Columbus.
And I'm Wilson from that other window place.
One of our specialties here at Pella, Wilson, is getting rid of old, smaller windows with no view and replacing them with huge, beautiful windows that can change the look and feel of your home.
We tried that once, but we cut the hole a bit too big, so we had to put in a garage door instead in their dining room.
Wilson.
Didn't improve the view, but they do have a drive-through now, so you're welcome, Gruball family.
Get the windows that can change the look and feel of your home at PellaColumbus.com.
Columbus, the Blue Jackets schedule is out. And you can lock in your seats with ticket plans starting at just 11 games. Don't miss a moment of the action. Visit BlueJackets.com.
T-Bone and Tyvis is presented by Awaken 180 Weight Loss. Sign up today at awaken180weightloss.com.
Get to know your resident national champion. It's time for Ask Tyvis Anything.
Get those questions in on the Twitter side of things. 971 The Fan. Bone and Tyvis, 971. At Matt Fontaine 83 at 1 Tyvis. Dylan G. Dylan's got the Dylan G Radio on Twitter, by the way. He's got the YouTube chat. We'll get to that. So, Tyvis, I'm going to ask you the question. I can't remember if I've asked you this before. But are you handy? Like, are you good at fixing things?
I'm decent.
Okay. Because here's the reason I brought it up. I got to gloat for a second. Or another question, like, what's the best thing you've ever fixed? What's something that you've fixed that you've given the most gratification? Because here's my story, right? So, down in our basement, we have a beverage fridge, right? It fell off the back of a truck years ago. And I got it on a steal from a guy, right? The guy goes, hey, the door kind of got cracked.
So it literally fell off the truck.
It literally fell. No,
it's not stolen.
No, I know. No, usually, yes. You're 100% right. This legitimately fell off the truck. Or it did, and they just bashed the door in, and they go, hey, look, it really fell off now. So it was on, it was in a shady warehouse somewhere. And the guy goes, hey, the door's broken, but if you flip the door around, you won't even see it. And I said, well, that's good because I need to flip the door around anyway. So the ding and the dent is on the bottom. Don't worry about it. So, bro, this thing's like, brand new. It's like a $600 fridge, right? And we got it for like $150, like whatever. So it broke on me this week. I came down and I go, man, it's not keeping temperature. What's going on? I take the back off. It's melted. The whole interior part of this fan, there's a fan in there, and it broke and it busted. And I was like, well, I got to throw, man, we got this on a deal. They're like $600 new. I was like, wait a minute. I hit up Reddit, and Reddit's always got an answer. Guy, solution, I bought a $20 computer fan, installed it, we're back, and it's working. So this is now my new number one satisfaction fix that I've ever had in my life, where it's like I saved $600 with a $20 part. It works. I'm excited. Tyvis, do you have something like that, like the most satisfying fix of your life?
I'm trying to think. Now, I've fixed some things before in my life. I will say that I am more tech savvy than handy. When it comes to some tech stuff, I done figured some stuff out, which has been very satisfying because when you talk about like TVs or gaming systems or computers, like you talking thousands of dollars, hundreds of dollars, thousands of dollars if you trying to fix it. So I've gotten lucky a couple of times where I had to fix screens and, fix my PlayStation because it was messed up, which that was very satisfying. You remember back in the day when they had the PlayStation had like the yellow light of death, or the Xbox had the red ring of death. Like I had fixed mine before.
I brought one back from that.
Yeah, I brought one back, and when I tell you, you couldn't tell me nothing when I did that. Oh my goodness. That might be my satisfying thing to this day, is that I fixed my PlayStation. I brought it back.
You had to wrap it in a blanket or something. I brought one back too. It was a good one. All right, so my backup question has to do with baseball. So if you're a Guardians fan, you got to feel good. I'm so excited about this time. My wife and I were taking our 4-year-old to the game today. He is undefeated in his Guardians career. He's been to 2 games prior. They have not lost when our son is in the ballpark. I have a career losing record, and I've been to a lot more games than him, so I felt like I needed to bring him to balance out the mo. My question is, where do you like to sit when you go to the game?
So I haven't been to I was just telling Bull about this. I haven't been to a Guardians game in years.
Oh, gotta go.
And I need to get to one. The last time I went to a Guardians game, this is embarrassing, was actually the day I threw out the first pitch. So that was 2017.
Okay.
And I had tickets like it wasn't behind home plate. It was like down first baseline. That's where it
close
was.
Home plate. Yeah.
Those were really, really good seats.
Those are good seats.
The outfield thing, unless you're sitting on the wall to catch a home run, I really don't care for it. I'd rather sit on the first baseline or the third baseline.
So, Matt, I went to school at Kent State, and while I was at Kent, I worked for the Guardians the summer that they went to the World Series.
Oh, nice.
So, being around the ballpark, I've discovered that the best place in any ballpark is obviously behind home plate, but not in the 100 level. Go all the way up to the first row of the upper deck.
Yeah.
That the best view of any
broadcast booth.
Yes.
Yeah.
The best view you can get. Not obviously you don't want to go too far up in the upper deck. Try to get close to the first row, but so at Progressive it's the 400 section. First row right behind home plate. You can see everything.
We were partial season ticket holders in that exact section a couple of years ago. So we'd go to games, and my brother and I we're both loved the game, played for a long time. And that's the thing, you get to see the game as the broadcaster, but as the player, too. So we're sitting in right field today because we bought tickets as soon as they went on sale, didn't want to get – and I saw something this morning that tickets are still, available because a lot of people were freaking out that it wasn't a sellout yesterday. But they're available for today, and prices, of course, have dropped a little bit. But we're out in right field. Yeah, I'm with you, Tyvis. I like behind home plate, but I don't mind – down one of the lines because that's like foul ball territory, which I like. Can I tell you guys? Can I admit something?
You hate the net?
No, I hate the I hate the net. I hate the net. Like, listen, I'm taking my kids to the games now, and I sit there and act like I'm some macho dad and all that. But, like, if foul ball's coming towards my kid, I'm athletic and played enough, I'm going to get in its way. If I break my hand, if I break my face, it's better than my kid getting hit. Mm-hmm. But I got to understand that there's people out there, like, they could really get hurt. So I hate the net, but that's another stuff. Guys, I don't like the bleachers anymore. I'm over it. I went to a bleachers game last year, and I'm like, I can't do this anymore.
It's a young man's game.
It is. It is. And I just have to admit that that's not me anymore. I got gout. I'm not there anymore, guys. I'm not there anymore. I can't do the bleachers.
Can't so you got to take the cushion with you.
Yeah, that my indomethacin. That's the medicine that I take for my gout now. So my doctor thinks that she hasn't had a breakthrough now. She actually thinks I have pseudo gout. It's not real gout. It's fake gout. So we're working on it. We're getting there. But yeah, I can't. Dylan, you're right. It's a young man's game, and I have made peace. I don't think I will ever, by choice, sit in the bleachers again. At Progressive Field or in right field. All right, we got some YouTube chat questions going. Dylan, you got them. Fire away.
All right, AJ's Hawk Tua wants to know, Tyvis, what quarterbacks would you have drafted / signed in the beginning of the season as a Browns fan? So not getting the 4 that they got.
I would have took the Jackson Dart. The way he's looked pretty good. I wouldn't have never traded out of 2. And even if I did trade out of 2 and get 5, I still would have taken Jackson Dart because the quarterback is the thing that you needed the most. I mean, we'll see with Dylan Gabriel. If he does become the starter on Sunday, we'll see. But, like, you needed that. Or I would have at least gotten a wide receiver. You know, I would have taken whoever the best wide receiver was at the time. I would have took, Ted McMillan or something? Like, we needed somebody, or Matthew Golden. Like, that would have been nice to be able to stretch the field with him. Like, we needed somebody. You're the 32nd ranked offense, and our first 2 picks in the draft was defensive player, so...
Yeah, I mean, I wanted Cam Ward bad. Obviously, you were never going to get him, and the Titans shut it down. I know he's off to a really kind of rough start, but I still really believe in Cam Ward. I was kind of pushing that Tyler Shuck train a little in the second round, not the first. But now that I see how good Carson Schlesinger and Quinshon Judkins are, thank God they didn't listen to me because I'd rather have those 2 guys than Tyler Shuck. But yeah, veteran-wise, I mean, it was slim pickings out there, but tough go there. Dylan, what else you got?
Rusty wants to know if you finally got your own car, Tyvis, and if not, are you going to get a Corvette or a minivan to match your Nike Monarchs?
No. No. But Corvettes is for old people, in my personal opinion. Like, when you see that car, it's always some older dude that's in, like, his late 50s or something.
It's a midlife crisis.
Yeah.
I'll listen to that.
No.
I'll listen to that.
If I get it's a truck. I want a truck.
Get a truck.
Are you a certain branded truck guy, like a Chevy guy or a Ford guy, or
I've always been a Chevy or Dodge guy. But it don't matter. Somebody giving it to me, I don't care what it is.
Right. Well, hey, we are all inclusive here on that one. I listen to that. I second that for you there. So I have 4 brothers, right? So I'm one of 5 boys, and all my other brothers are like in the trades or whatever. Bro, you pull into my parents' I call it parking lot. When you pull into my parents' driveway, like on Sundays for the Browns game, everyone there, it looks like a Ford dealership. There are 5 Fords in that driveway. I drive an Explorer. There's 3 F-150s and an F-250 King Ranch. So we are a Ford family. But like you said, I love Dodge. I love Chevy. I love them all. And especially I love you for Tyvis and Bone here on the Fan. All right, dude, one more you got to sneak in, or we good?
Yeah, Rusty also wants to know if you're wearing a Halloween costume this year, Tyvis.
Oh, that's funny. My wife, I was just talking to my wife about that. The Big Ten tailgate show might actually be here for when we play Penn State, which is November 1st, which would mean that I actually, for the first time since my daughter was 1, I'll actually be able to take her trick-or-treating. So I may have to get a costume for that.
Do you guys do themes? Like my wife and I used to be very theme heavy. Like her and I would match or.
See, my kids is all about this princess stuff. Like they just want to be princesses and stuff. So I asked my wife, did you want to be Bandit and Jilly off of Bluey? But
oh yeah, that'd be great. Yeah,
but she shot me down, so I'm about to be Pickle Rick.
That's an easy costume too. Really. Yeah, we used to do a lot of the like. My wife has a striking resemblance to Aubrey Plaza, so like she played on Parks and Rec. Mm-hmm. So if you watch the show, they would do Janet Snakehole and Burt Macklin, the FBI agent. We did that one year. We did Mario and Luigi, and then when we had our son, we dressed him as Yoshi, which was good. But I actually have not dressed up the last like 4 years because we've been out with our kids trick or treating. So, like, I just don't dress up. So, like, we may have to get back into that. But, yeah, plenty of time. 'Tis the season. Happy October. And Field Yates actually had a great tweet just coming up. It's the only month of the year that we get to sit down and enjoy baseball, football, basketball at the end, and hockey. It's the only month of the year that it happens all in this time, so it's a good time to be with you here on T-Bone and Tyvis. Speaking of college football, we've had some change on the betting side of things related to Ohio State for the national championship and Jeremiah Smith when it comes to the Heisman. We'll explain it, and I want to bring up some of the other teams that had the biggest jumps this week. Play a little real or fake with Tyvis. I want to ask him, do you think Ole Miss, real or fake? We'll get to it coming up right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Good Wednesday morning to you. Well, when it comes to traffic, we are still noticing the most slowdowns for folks over on the east side, especially over by Bryce, Reynoldsburg, and over by Etna this morning. So what's happening is that we're just noticing some bumper-to-bumper traffic, basically from 256 all the way towards 310 over on 70 in that westbound direction, looking at 19 miles per hour in certain portions as well. Noticing some red on that time-saver traffic map. No crashes in this area, just a lot more people on the roads. I'm 10 TV's Brianna Albizu with your fan traffic.
Your game day headquarters is here at ESPN Bet Sportsbook at Hollywood Casino Columbus, the only place to watch and win. Catch every play on more than 30 TVs and over 50 feet of video wall. Score tickets, signed professional and college sports memorabilia, and pen cash prizes. Join the watch parties for every home team game with a tailgate buffet and bucket specials. Plus, get official game day swag with every table reservation. Game day lives here, only at Hollywood Casino Columbus. Must be 21. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-589-9966.
At Baths R Us, we believe home improvement is life improvement, and that starts with a team who brings your vision to life. Our installers aren't just skilled, they're experts.
This is who we are. This is what we do all day, every day.
Right now, get $1,500 off a shower or tub replacement or $3,000 off a full bathroom remodel. Plus, low to no monthly payments. Call 380-225-BATH to schedule your free estimate or go to bathsrus.com. 380-225-2284. Baths R Us, where dreams soak in.
Ah, college. A time to broaden the mind, question, learn. A time to challenge the status quo. And eat a ridiculous amount of pizza, which you can buy with your Huntington Bank debit card with the Ohio State University logo. Huntington Bank is proud to be the official consumer bank of The Ohio State University and the unofficial bank of pizza. Let's go Bucks! Let's get more from money. Switch to Huntington Bank. Welcome.
Earn 2% cash back on purchases and pay 0% APR on balance transfers for 15 months with a new Kemba Financial Credit Union Visa. That's more rewards and less interest. Apply at Kemba.org. For purchases and balance transfers made in the first 90 days, restrictions apply. APR equals annual percentage rate. Variable and subject to change. Equal opportunity lender. Expires 10/31/25.
Hey Central Ohio, it's Andrew from Home Team Solutions. And yes, we buy houses for cash the easy way. We've been buying houses for over 20 years and we've seen it all. Whether you've inherited a property, you're behind on payments, the house needs work, or just want to avoid the hassle of listing, we've got you covered. No repairs, no clean out, no stress, just a fair cash offer and you pick the closing date. We've helped hundreds of homeowners sell fast and hassle-free, and we're proud to have 5-star reviews all across Central Ohio and an A+ rating with the BBB. If you're ready to sell your house the easy way, call Home Team Solutions at 614-962-SELL. That's 614-962-7355, or visit us online at selltohometeam.com. Home Team Solutions, local, trusted, and family-owned. Again, that's 614-962-SELL. 614-962-7355 or selltohometeam.com.
Skyline's new chicken chili is here. Now you can enjoy that legendary Skyline taste with a new protein option. Try Skyline's chicken chili on Waze, Coney's, and all your Skyline favorites. Feeling good. It's Skyline time.
When it's 6 a.m. and you need a skid steer and you want to talk to an actual person about skid steers, lean on green. Sunbelt Rentals. With the largest rental fleet and hardest working equipment experts in Columbus, we can help steer you to the right skid steer at the right price right now. Tracks or wheels, diesel or gas, light, medium, or heavy duty. Plus attachments for loading, grading, digging, drilling, tilling, and trenching. No wonder the Columbus builders building Columbus lean on green. Sunbelt Rentals. Learn more at sunbeltrentals.com.
Toyota gives you more electrified hybrid choices than anyone else, including the stylish new Corolla, a name synonymous with Toyota quality and dependability, the elegant new Toyota Crown Signia, and the latest edition of the legendary 4Runner. Toyota's extensive lineup also includes battery EVs like the tech-savvy all-electric BZ4X, and of course, the iconic Prius, the hybrid that started it all. That's the power of choice. From Toyota, let's go places.
What's the best way to make sure you don't miss any of your favorite fan shows? Oh no. Download the Fan app, silly.
Ah, damn it, I knew that.
App Store, Google Play, or just scream right at your phone. Psst, you can also listen to Buckeye games. Do it now. It's almost Football Friday. All play and no work.
Sponsored by Tansky Sawmill Toyota.
Your home for football, the Fan. Two men with 5 combined offspring. None of them have penises. You're listening to T-Bone and Tyvis.
Gotcha this morning here on The Fan. They got the huddle coming up. We'll go around the NFL, some quarterback things. We'll get back into the Browns as well. 8:30, Spencer German's going to join us. He hosts Locked On Browns. Are they making that move to Dylan Gabriel? That all comes your way here on The Fan. Don't forget also this morning, Jake Trotter on with Bo and Friends, 10:30. Adam Schefter, 12:30 with Rothman and Ice. And one of my favorite segments of the week on Common Man and Timmy, 5:30, name dropping with Jeff Rimmer. And, of course, Jeff makes me think of the Jackets. We're a week away from the regular season for them. So exciting times on the sports calendar. Some big wins this past weekend in college football has already, as we know, shifted things on the Heisman front and the national championship front. So the Buckeyes, still the favorite to win the national championship, depending on what book you look at, plus 500. The big jump is Oregon, Tyvis, which are now up to number 2 at plus 600. One of the biggest jumps of the week. Are you buying Oregon? And I know, listen, Penn State, whiteout, it's a tough environment to play. I think Dante Moore, if people weren't paying attention to him before the game, they're certainly paying attention to him now. We'll get to his Heisman odds in just a second. Everybody knows Dan Lanning. How much stock are you putting into that Ducks win over the Nittany Lions?
See, the thing is, first of all, that's a very good win. To go in that atmosphere and, play in that environment and win that game, that's a big-time win. I've played in that environment. It's not easy to win. Actually, it was very similar to what Oregon did. I think we went up either 14-0 or 14-7, ended up going into double overtime to win that game in a whiteout. So it was an impressive win for Oregon. But the thing about Penn State is, at the beginning of the season, I was high on Penn State. As the season has gone on, I am not high on Penn State at all. I don't know how good of a team they actually are, with the weapons that the lack of weapons, I should say, they have at the wide receiver position. So, on paper, it's a good win. Ultimately, I don't know how great of a win it is because I don't know how good Penn State is. I will say I respect their defense. I think they got some players on that defense. Obviously, Jim Knowles calls a great defense, so I give them respect for being able to do that. But I do like Dante Moore. I love DeCorian Moore. I like Kenyon Sadiq. I think they have some weapons over there on that offensive side of the ball. And obviously, if you talk about the D line, Mateo is one of the best DNs in the country. Thieneman, all of those guys. I think they have all the pieces to be very successful, and they can make a run at the national championship. So I give them credit for that.
Alabama beats Georgia. They jump from plus 1,400 up to plus 800. And then Ole Miss, the other big jump, as, of course, they beat LSU. They're still undefeated. They were plus 5,000 to win the national championship going into that LSU game. They now jump up to plus 2,000. So I'll give you both of them. Bama, Ole Miss, Tyvis, you buying them, or would you lay any money on that plus 800 for Bama or plus 2,000 for Ole Miss?
No. No. Not a chance. I'll put money down on
what did
either
they
one
give
of them.
2-7 or 227 on the ground to Georgia in that game? Like, and I'm the same way about Georgia as I kind of am for Penn State. I get the hype. I get the name. They ain't the same.
No.
That's not the same Georgia team that you saw a couple of years ago.
Georgia just don't have the playmakers anymore. Like,
right.
There's nobody on that offensive side of the ball that scares you, and that's the problem. Like, going into this game, the reason I predicted that Alabama will win that game is because they had the best skill player with Ryan Williams over there, and I thought Ty Simpson was playing much better than what he played, in that first game against Florida State. So that's why I picked him. I like Zachariah Branch, but he's not like doing with the things that I envisioned him doing. And then they just gonna run the ball. If you can stop them from running the ball, you'll win their game against them. They don't really have Gunnar Stockton ain't the guy that's gonna sit back there and sling the ball 30 times and win the game. That's just not what they're built to do. So I think it's gonna be hard. If that defense don't come out and play lights out, they're gonna struggle to win games.
When it comes to national championship odds, I feel like there's really no value with anyone because I don't see anyone but Ohio State or Oregon winning the national championship, and you could have got better odds on them 2 weeks ago. I guess if your bet doesn't cash, it doesn't matter. But at Ohio State plus 500, and then Oregon being the second favorite at plus 550. If I had to pick a dark horse, though, it would be Miami, just because I feel like if they win this weekend against Florida State, I feel like the rest of their schedule is so
they have a very
easy to navigate that they might just end up in the playoff with one loss or no loss as default, and then you take your chances there.
Yeah. Talking about you should have cashed in a couple weeks ago. Probably should have cashed in if you could on Dante Moore. He is now, at a lot of books, the betting Heisman favorite. He jumps from plus 2,500 opening, plus 2,500 before the season. He was plus 1,200 last week. He is now plus 750. He leads Carson Beck around plus 900. But here's two risers: Jeremiah Smith and Ty Simpson. Jeremiah moving up, who was plus 1,600 just last week. He is now plus 1,000. Ty Simpson was plus 2,500 last week. He's up plus to 1,000. Listen, I'd love Jazz to win this. I don't think, again, Dante Moore's playing so well. Ty Simpson's not winning the Heisman. Let's be serious about this. Come on. Carson Beck, to your point, Dylan, if Miami keeps going on this run, sure. I really thought this might be a year that a position player won it. And certainly if you were going to pick a position player, I guess Jeremiah Love you could look at. I thought maybe one of the Penn State backs. That's not going to happen. Jeremiah Smith's the pick. I really think so. The problem is, he's 18th in receiving yards. He's not completely blown open games yet, but I think they're coming. Tyvis, and I think he's going to have a look at it.
Yeah, right now he's getting heavily double teamed. As everybody continues to make plays, some teams will back off a little bit, which would be dumb, but they're going to have to do it eventually. And I think Ohio State's doing a great job of still finding ways to get on the ball. That tunnel screen for him to score the touchdown, that was perfect. That was, allowing him to beat the corner first before running the deep ball, and then letting him, run the hitches and run the slants and things like that to beat the guy before the safety can actually help. He's doing a great job of defeating those double teams in that way.
All right, coming up, we got the huddle. We'll turn over to the pro side of things. Tyreek Hill, very unfortunate injury. Dylan's got an interesting question about the future for Tyreek Hill. We'll get to all of it coming up. Stay with us right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Well, a quick reminder and another heads up for folks who live over on the east side. An ongoing ramp closure to talk about. It's that 70 westbound ramp to 270 northbound. Started on Sunday, but will be lasting to Thursday, 10 p.m. to 5 a.m. in those overnight hours, thankfully. But just in case you do get caught up in this, here is a detour. Take 70 westbound to State Route 317, also known as Hamilton Road. Get off there, make a nice little loop back on 70 eastbound, and that will get you back northbound.
More tired, not motivated to do anything. It's not just aging. It's a physical and mental change to your body. Testosterone can actually help. And it all starts with a quick test. The on-site lab makes it quick and easy to get results in as fast as about 20 minutes. And if you decide you want the treatment and you want it at home, let the provider know, and they'll educate you on everything you need to know about treating yourself at home. And for a limited time only, visit any Synergenics or Low T Center for a free hormone consultation, and you'll automatically be entered for a chance to win autographed sports memorabilia, or you may even win a pair of tickets to a major sporting event. Book your appointment now at trtmvp.com. That's trtmvp.com.
Care Heating and Cooling. Honest technicians, honest pricing. Call 1-800-COOLING.
Listen to Financially Fit Radio with Corey Sickles this Saturday morning at 9 a.m. on 1460 ESPN, covering topics like what you need to know about annuities and how to stay healthy and enjoy retirement. Financially Fit Radio this Saturday at 9 a.m. on 1460 ESPN. Buckeyes, the 2025 football season is here, and that means three things: football, game day, and smooth Jameson whiskey. Whether you're catching the game at home, at your neighborhood bar, or soaking up the team spirit at a tailgate, Jameson Ginger and Lime and Ohio State Athletics are a winning combo. So cheers to making game days even better with the official whiskey of the fans. Jameson, proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. Taste responsibly.
Jameson Irish Whiskey, product of Ireland. 40% alcohol by volume, 80 proof. Copyright 2025, imported by John Jameson Import Company, New York, New York.
Is there anything better than a college football Saturday? Not if you're at the ESPN Bet Sportsbook at Hollywood Casino Columbus. Join the Fan for watch parties for the games this season. Oh, you got to check out the display case of amazing autographed prizes you can win. It's beautiful. 2 massive TV walls to watch the national champs. Watch and place wagers with over 30 kiosks, contests, prizes, and live shows. Must be 21 or older to enter. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Hey friends, Beamer here. And a bye week, it's about getting your energy back, and that's exactly what Awaken 180 gave me. I don't drag through mornings anymore. I'm not dreading the stairs or a long day. I feel lighter, sharper, and actually in control. Yeah, I dropped a lot of weight, but what actually matters is how different my life feels now. If you're ready for your own reset, take this bye week to get you there with Awaken 180. Start today online at awaken180weightloss.com.
At Kroger Pharmacy, we make it easy to get flu, COVID, and RSV vaccines. They're available at no cost to you with most insurance plans. No appointment needed. And we're open weekdays, weeknights, and weekends. So come and visit us when it's most convenient for you. Kroger Health, a world of care is in store. Vaccines subject to availability. No cost to you with most insurance plans. Check with your plan for eligibility. Restrictions and exclusions may apply. See site for details.
1-877 Cards for Kids. KARS Cards for Kids.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now, 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS.
1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too?
Dormar, you're kind of hero.
When your furnace or air conditioner is broke, we come out that same day. Dormar, home the Tin Man.
For 48 straight years, Ford F-Series have been the best-selling trucks in America. We got here by engineering breakthrough technology, redefining Built Ford Tough, and never settling for second best. But what's really made Ford F-Series the #1 selling trucks in America is you. Ford F-Series, Built Ford Tough. Based on 1977 to 2024 calendar year total sales.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus.
Good morning, I'm Dylan Gonzalez. It was a rough day for the Ohio baseball teams yesterday. Let's start in Cleveland. The Guardians hosted Tyreek Skubal and the Detroit Tigers for Game 1 of the American League Wildcard Series. It was a pitcher's duel as both Skubal and Gavin Williams pitched well, but in the end, the Tigers would come away with a 2-1 victory. Game 2 will be at 1 o'clock today up in Cleveland. Casey Mize and Tanner Bybee is the expected pitching matchup. Out in L.A., the Cincinnati Reds visited the Dodgers for Game 2 of the National League Wildcard Series. This game wasn't as close as the Reds trailed 8-0 at one point and eventually fell 10-5. Game 2 is tonight in Los Angeles at 9 o'clock. You can catch that game over on The Fan, too. This update was sponsored by Awaken 180 Weight Loss. It's great to have goals. It's even better to have experts to help you attain those goals. Experts in weight loss. Awaken180weightloss.com.
The biggest questions in the NFL are answered right here. Welcome to the Huddle.
All right, Dylan's got the questions we're going to run through on the NFL side of things, including one about Tyreek Hill. Guys, I got a trivia off of Tyreek Hill for you. When we get to that question coming up, Tyvis Powell, I'm Matt Fontaine, and for T-Bone, Dylan, Huddle, take it away.
All right, so I said earlier that I think the Steelers are winning the AFC North division, but are the Ravens' playoff chances totally cooked with the news of Lamar Jackson's injury?
You know, Tyvis, these ones are hard because it's not just always like an X's and O's and standings type of situation. It's like, can the Ravens handle not having him, right? Do they have enough guys? Like, Derrick Henry doesn't look the same. He looks like he's struggling a little bit. Can the rest of the guys step up? So here's where we stand. Your division leaders, Buffalo's 4-0, Pittsburgh's 3-1, Colts and Jags are 3-1, the Chargers are 3-1, Chiefs and Broncos 2-2, Bengals 2-2, the Patriots are 2-2. So when you talk about the playoffs, do we feel like, you know, the Ravens can, it's like the Patriots, Jags, Colts, maybe Houston's 1-3, Chiefs, Broncos, like, I'd put some real concern just because I think there's other teams in the AFC that are better than them. So if you're, already at a deficit of a game and you're going to be without Lamar, I don't know if it's cooked, man, but I think that water's starting to heat up a little bit, you know?
My thing about Baltimore is it was going to be hard to win it with Lamar anyways. Their defense is trash, and I just, for the life of me, can't understand when you look at who they have, how they are this bad. It makes no sense to me. So now you're telling me now you won't have Lamar either? Yeah, it's over with. I'm sorry. They're not making it. They're not.
Madubuike out for the year, too. He's got a neck injury. He's done, too. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
The defensive tackle is out for the year. Mm-hmm. The one they just paid. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's over with.
Neck injury.
They run, and everybody running the ball.
Yep.
Next time the Browns play them, we running trap with Quinshaw. He should go for 250 yards
all day. Guards all we got with the Browns. So yeah, I don't know if they're cooked, but they're on life support for sure.
All right, so Tyreek Hill had that gruesome dislocated knee injury that's putting him out for the season, and his future is bleak. But is Tyreek Hill a future Hall of Famer?
I'll let you go here first, Tyvis.
That's pretty interesting. I want to say no. I want to say no, he's not. But let me look at some stats real quick.
Don't look him up yet. I got it. No, don't look him up yet. I have a trivia.
He might. He actually has a rare key. He could be. He could make it. What happened with the season where he was like on pace to go for 2,000 yards? It was like his first year in Miami. Did he finish that? Like
he finished with 1,799.
Oh yeah,
Yeah. Or no, I'm sorry. Well, he had two back-to-back 1,700-yard seasons.
He might now. He might.
I feel like a barometer for Hall of Fame when it comes to receivers is 100 touchdowns, and he's close. I think he has 80-something, so...
83. So here's where he's at. Let's talk accolades. So he's won one Super Bowl. He is a 5-time first-team All-Pro, which I think 5 times is like, that's Hall of Fame level. He was a second-team All-Pro in 2018. And then Pro Bowl 8 times. He's led the NFL in receiving yards.
Wait a minute. On that 5 times, was this a receiver or was he a return specialist?
I think one of them.
Because I remember he made it as a return specialist.
So in 2016, he made it as a punt returner. You're right. And then in 2018, he was selected as the flex player.
Okay.
And then I think he was second-team All-Pro wide receiver, but then 2020, 2022, and 2023 was first-team All-Pro when it came to receiver, and he was in the All-Decades team for 2010. All right, you ready for your trivia? So Tyreek Hill has 11,363 receiving yards in his career. That is good for 41st overall in the NFL. I want all 40. No, I'm just kidding. He's got 5 active players ahead of him. 5 active guys ahead of Tyreek Hill. Mike Evans, number 2 on that list. Correct.
Devontae Adams
is number 4. That's 2. Dylan, step it up.
Cooper Kupp.
No, not Cooper Kupp.
DeAndre Hopkins.
DeAndre Hopkins is number 1, over 13,000. So you guys have 1, 2, 4. You need 3 and 5 that are ahead of active players with more receiving yards than Tyreek Hill.
A.J. Brown?
No. I give you a hint. I don't know if you guys need one yet, but I'll give you a hint.
Does he play receiver?
Yes.
One of them does.
Travis Kelce.
Travis
that was gonna be my
Kelce is
guess.
number 3 at 2,333. So this one might be the hardest one. Who is the guy that is just ahead of Tyreek Hill? He's only 200 yards ahead of Tyreek Hill.
Hey. Stephon Diggs.
No, Diggs is just behind Tyreek Hill. Good pull, but he's just behind him. All right, you mentioned Mike Evans. This is another really tall guy.
DK Metcalf?
No.
Keenan Allen.
Keenan Allen is correct.
Yeah.
Man,
Great
well
answer.
done, gentlemen. So, again, the 5 guys ahead of Tyreek Hill, DeAndre Hopkins, Mike Evans, Travis Kelce, Devontae Adams, Keenan Allen. The reason I bring it up is this. I think Mike Evans is a Hall of Famer, like 10 straight 1,000-yard receiving. I know Travis Kelce is a Hall of Famer, but he's a tight end. Like, is Devontae Adams a Hall of Famer? Because it's hard to sit there and say, like, Tyreek's going to make it if Devontae's ahead of him. The only thing working for Tyreek Hill, he's younger than all of those guys. All those guys, like 2013 for Keenan Allen, 2014 for Devontae Adams. Tyreek Hill didn't get into the NFL until 2016. But now he's got this knee injury, so we'll see. To answer the question, I think he's going to make it just because he's had all those first-team All-Pros, and I do think he's going to come back from this
See,
injury.
we had a different Hall of Fame conversation last week. I don't remember what it was, but I brought up like the prime versus longevity argument. Like Devontae Adams and Tyreek Hill have just as good of primes as anyone you would want to mention at wide receiver, but did they do it long enough? Is the question.
I want to get to your last questions here, Dylan, so we'll move on. But you're so right on that, because if you're a Hall of Famer, the first question I asked was there a stretch where you were unequivocally the best player at your position? I say the same thing about baseball as I do football, basketball. Like, was there a stretch that there was zero question that you were the best wide receiver in the NFL? And I think that answer is yes for Tyreek Hill.
And that was Tyvis's point last week when we were talking about the quarterbacks.
Now, you got to remember the off-the-field stuff with him, too.
Yes.
And how much that factors in with the writers, we'll see. So I'm going to say he's got a shot.
The Hall of Fame, NFL Hall of Fame, not a lot of great characters in there.
Yeah,
so.
dude, fantastic point. Fantastic and true point.
Will Kevin Stefanski name the starting cornerback for the London game this morning? And if it's Dylan Gabriel, who will the backup be?
I think it will be Dylan Gabriel. Tyvis, I think it's a good time. Announce it. They're getting on the plane to go to London, kind of calm some things down a little bit with it. And I think Joe Flacco will still be the backup, though.
I think that he will announce it. I think Shedeur should be the backup because eventually when Deshaun Watson decides that he's ready to come back, they're going to cut Joe Flacco to get Deshaun on the roster, because that's what you're going to have to do to get Deshaun on the roster.
And just to note, Kevin Stefanski, I think his scheduled press conference is at like 10:25 this morning, so that'll probably be around the time that you see that news.
There you go. And you had the backup there, too, with the Dylan Gabriel thing. Again, I would listen to Shedeur. I think they want that veteran presence. But Tyvis, you brought up a great point. Deshaun Watson, he's eligible to come off the pup or start practicing. We'll see how all that goes. All right, there's beef in football, which I think it's funny when coaches just yell at one another, because usually it's coaches don't say anything and they have press conferences to not piss everybody off. But Robert Saleh pissed off Liam Cohen, the coach of the Jags. He let him know about it after their game on Sunday. And then Kyle Shanahan has just blessed us with an amazing question when it comes to NFL coaches. We'll answer it coming back right here on The Fan.
Fan Traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Good morning and happy Wednesday. No crashes to report still for your Wednesday morning commute, but we are noticing more slowdowns in and around the metro this morning, especially over by the airport. 270 southbound already pretty slow moving at 32 miles per hour, but doesn't get any better if you're taking that 670 westbound approach, 27 miles per hour in that direction. Also noticing some action going on, really some slowdowns for folks taking that 70 and 270 intersection over on the west side. And lastly, for folks in Powell and Worthington, the slowest road we're noticing is 315 southbound over by Linworth this morning, noticing lots of red on our time saver traffic maps. I'm 10 TV's Brianna Albizu with your fan traffic.
The number one problem we see at our clinic is delaying treatment. ED and low T can get worse.
Book your appointment right now. Call 614-300-7400. Prefer privacy? Book online in under 30 seconds at columbusmensclinic.com.
At our clinics, men's sexual health is the whole job. Look, I'm a normal guy too. I hate going to the doctor, but we've helped so many guys in here just like you. Even if pills have failed, our medical team is going to take the time to talk you through it. Same day in-house lab, and the treatments, well, they could change your life.
Your local medical team has your back. ED, low T, Peyronie's, size, and shape modeling. We tailor what works for you.
I'll get to the point. Can you imagine epic workouts and epic sex? Yeah, I said it.
A stronger you is closer than you think. We're available right now. Call 614-300-7400 or book in 30 seconds or less at columbusmensclinic.com. Columbus Men's Clinic. Making it happen.
Get Eco.
ECO. Hey, Aaron, I invented a way to make sure people's furnaces are safe.
Do you test high temperature, flame rollout, flame limit, and flame proving?
Yeah, no one wants to set their house on fire.
Do you inspect the heat exchanger?
Yeah, no one wants a house full of carbon monoxide.
We already do all that for just $89.
Yeah, but my price is just $88.
Okay, so $88 will be the new price for a furnace safety check.
Get Eco.
ECO. I also invented a cool new name for it.
Okay.
I call it the Super Safety Check.
What makes it super?
Well, it costs $1 less, and it has super in the name.
Should I start calling you Super Jerry?
The Super Jerry Super Safety Check. I like it.
Get Eco to safety check your furnace.
Or, for $1 less, you can get the Super Jerry Super Safety Check.
Get Eco.
ECO. Eco plumbers, electricians, and HVAC technicians.
GetEco.com.
Hi, I'm Joanna Williams, General Manager at Tansky Sawmill Toyota, and it's tire time at Tansky Sawmill Toyota. Now through October 31st, you can buy 3 tires and get 1 for $1. Visit TanskySawmillToyota.com to schedule your appointment today, or hurry into Tansky Sawmill Toyota on the corner of Sawmill and 161 in Dublin to get those cars ready for winter. And when you think tires, think Tansky.
Think Toyota. Think Tansky. Think Tansky.
When we started the company, I was absolutely going to build my own plant. We can build a very, very good window and sell it at a reasonable price. And if you buy from a company that is a dealer, they have to order the part from the factory, have it sent, and then schedule a service. I got 500 locks out back. If you need a lock, it'll take me 15 seconds to walk back here and grab one for you.
Visit our showroom today at 4200 Roberts Road.
Hello, it's John Kozik, founder and president of TurboTrack Realty, and I buy real estate as is fast for cash. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000. I buy vacant properties, inherited homes, divorce situations, death in the family. I even buy my tenants won't pay me the rent houses. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000.
Fraud in government is a crime, and it robs taxpayer dollars. I'm Ohio Auditor of State Keith Faber, and my job is to catch people that lie, cheat, and steal, report suspicious behavior, and help stop fraud. Learn the red flags, speak up, and protect your tax dollars by calling 1-866-FRAUD-OH.
The ONN Daily Podcast. Get a recap of all the day's news from across the state. The ONN Daily Podcast. Listen at onnradio.com or wherever you download your favorite podcasts from the Ohio News Network. In the old days when people lived to be 40, you only had one option for listening to your favorite show. But now, ooh, baby, radio, podcast, the Fan app, and YouTube. Woo, just to name a few. Live or on demand. You have no excuses. The Fan. Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Starting off the morning very crisp and refreshing, more like fall with temperatures in the 50s, but then we turn to summer this afternoon with our daytime highs in the low 80s and plenty of sun. For tonight, partly cloudy skies and lows in the 50s, and then for Thursday, a few more clouds mixing in with that sunshine and highs around 80 degrees. For the Fan, I'm meteorologist Meredith Garfolo with the 10 Weather Impact Forecast.
All the Ohio State conversation you can handle. The Buckeye Show.
Weeknights at 6.
Your Ohio State flagship station. The Fan. One of these men was prom king. It was T-Bone. I swear to God, you think I'm lying, don't you? But I'm serious. He didn't always look like this, okay? Here's the prom king and Tyvis.
I didn't even make a prom court, Tyvis. I was I was like that middle ground kind of guy, which I think everybody says like that's what you want your kids to be. I played sports, so people knew who I was. I knew the popular kids, but I
wasn't a popular kid.
No, and it probably worked out for the best. It was nice and easy. It was kind of a breeze. Like I did good in school. I was an okay athlete. I was far from the star player by any stretch. I just kind of breezed on through. And I breezed on. I think it set me up well. I enjoyed high school. I didn't hate it, but also like I went on to bigger and better things. You know what I mean?
Dylan, you come off as the type of guy that was like not the most popular guy. You was kind of quiet.
You think so?
Yep, he was kind of quiet.
Yeah. So the thing, so at my high school,
Dylan, you sounded kind of like a loser in high school. I don't know
that's
what it is.
basically what he said. I don't know why. So I had a graduating class of 118 kids, so I feel like everyone was popular.
Yeah, how could you not?
But
Right?
like
That's a good
Bone,
point, yeah.
like we found out the reason why he was prom king is because there were only like 8 other nominees for king because there was only like 20 something kids in the class and 9 of them were boys. So
See, I graduated with like 600 kids.
You see.
Like I went to a mass, like Brunswick when I was there. I don't think it's as big anymore, but there were kids in my grade that I'd never once in my life had met you. Never had a class with you. Like, I didn't get like eventually you ran into like most people, but some kids would transfer in, some kids would move in. Like it got lost in the show. So talking about the prom kid, I was just in the middle, man. I just slid on through. But Tyvis, like you were a good athlete, right? So you had to be extremely popular.
I mean, I was cool with everybody.
Yeah, that's the way.
Everybody knew me. I knew everybody. I just not like I tried to bully nobody or like I had conversation with people that you may consider nerds. I had those as friends. I had people that was popular. I'm the same way I am now. Good. It's the same way as I've always been my entire life. I don't try to big time nobody. I try to make sure I say hi to everybody and all those things.
I'm glad you would have talked to your perceived version of me. I really appreciate that.
Would you have sat with Dylan?
I would have sat with Dylan on some days. It would have been some days that I would have
found myself with no one to talk to and Tyvis out of the kindness of his heart.
That's not what I said.
And sit at the lunch table with me.
You took it that way. That's not what I said.
No, I'm not even in this. I kind of took it that way.
That's not what I.
What are you trying to get to?
That's not what I said. I said he was probably one of those guys that he wasn't the most popular guy, but he wasn't the nerd either.
Like one of those guys. Like, you playing your
You know how I know Dylan had some stuff going on because he's slick. He say that slick stuff. So like he would have been that guy that a teacher would have said something.
The wisecrack.
Yeah, he would have been the guy that said something wise that made everybody laugh.
I got it. Well, Robert Saleh, a little wise with his comments for Liam Cohen. So I know you guys talking about this on the show yesterday. I know where all this beef, right? So Saleh made a comment about sign stealing with the Jags. He meant it as a compliment, trying to say like, oh, that's how good Liam Cohen is. Liam Cohen didn't take it that way. He shows up after the game. He drops the Will Smith, keep my name out your mouth, all that kind of stuff. So then Kyle Shanahan got asked about this yesterday. So Saleh, the former head coach of the Jets, back with San Francisco as their DC. So Kyle Shanahan was kind of asked about this situation with the beef between Robert Saleh and Liam Cohen. Everybody knows Saleh, big jack dude. He runs the stairs before every game and all that. So there was an interesting question asked to Kyle Shanahan. Is there an NFL coach that could beat Robert Saleh up?
Just me. That's about it. Bet on Dan over a lot of people. Sal's too nice usually, but it seemed like someone struck a chord later. I mean, the other day, but I don't think there's any fights going on. It was kind of comical now to look back at it.
So he's downplaying the whole thing, but it got to this question. There's a 32-man Royal Rumble of all the NFL head coaches. Tyvis, who's walking out of that cage? Who's first out, and why is it Mike McDaniel?
You said
it's got to be Mike.
You said they gonna throw Mike out.
They
first.
throw Mike McDaniel out. Like Mike McDaniel would be. I'm not a huge wrestling fan, but like that Royal Rumble that Michael Cole got into. You know, he stands up and he's got the wrestling singlet on. He puts the headgear on. He walks in and they just throw him back out. Like, that's Mike McDaniel. Even, I thought about the old guys, right? Like Andy Reid and Pete Carroll. You'd be like, maybe not those guys. Like, no, they're throwing Mike McDaniel out of that ring the second he gets in there. But
I'm trying to find somebody else that would probably not.
Who would be an early out, think of it a brawl. Think of it a legit brawl. And I guess for we don't want to be
Zach
ageist.
Taylor.
I thought about Zach Taylor too. I was like,
Zach, they get him out of there quick.
If we're talking Royal Rumble style, I think Brian Callahan is going out.
He's going to go out pretty soon too.
I don't think so. He seemed like he got some grit to him.
You said Royal Rumble style.
See, like
interesting. I wanted this question to be presented like Hunger Games style.
Okay,
because then you got
Rumble,
some.
They come out one at a time in a Royal Rumble.
Right.
Like picture. I was thinking you dropped all 32 coaches into a cage or a giant ring, and they throw each other out one at a time. But I like your Hunger Games style.
Because Hunger Games wise, you got like people like Kyle Shanahan. He's slick and smart. He might get someone like Mike Vrabel, who you think is the favorite. He might feed him like some poison berries or something. Then Vrabel's out. But when it comes to pure brute and strength, and I think a lot of our listeners are going to agree with me because of the hometown bias, but I think it's
Vrabel.
Is he the Vrabes or Dan Campbell?
DeMeco Ryans. He's pretty jacked. He's a former player.
Yeah.
Here's the guy. Like, okay, the older, and I say this with all due respect, the older coaches like Tomlin, Jim Harbaugh, Pete Carroll, Andy Reid. Those ones are kind of hard. Sean Payton, I don't think he's really going to be able to do it. Ben Johnson seems like, and I mean this with all due respect, he seems kind of conniving. He seems like a sneaky kind of guy that could get after you in a Hunger Games. Ben Johnson be an outside pick for me.
Is Kellen Moore the head coach at the Saints?
He sure is.
He's getting out of there. They getting him out of there.
Matt LaFleur?
They getting him out of there too.
See, Kevin O'Connell's very smart. I feel like he could work things around.
You brought up Andy Reid. He's a bigger fella. And he gets beat up by Travis Kelce all the time, so he could clearly take some hits. I think he would be able to take some hits from head coaches if he can get bullied around by Travis Kelce on the sideline.
I got an outside tough guy that I think is, but I also think there's a stigma with this.
Todd Bowles.
That's a good one. I do like Todd Bowles. I was going to say Dan Quinn, and the stigma is because he's bald. And you instantly think like most bald guys are badasses. So like Dan Quinn, he's got the backwards hat. Like he seems like he'd be the ultimate badass. I don't know if he actually is, but Dan Quinn is an outside one for me.
You see, he doesn't have that killer mentality because he can't close out a 23 or 28-3 lead in a Super Bowl. So
I can't ever escape.
Where y'all
count that against him.
Where y'all at on Shane Steichen?
I don't have an opinion on Shane.
He's barely a head coach.
Who's the head coach for the is Gannon still the head coach for the
Cardinals? Gannon. Those guys might not have jobs.
Dave Canales.
I guess Dave Canales is an interesting one.
Who's he the head coach of?
Panthers.
Okay, you see. Nah. Where'd he come from? Do you remember?
Seattle.
Okay.
Seattle.
I want to say he was in Seattle. He was like the receivers coach when I was in Seattle.
He and Mike McDonald. I get very confused because they look very similar to me. Mike McDonald, the head coach of the Seattle Seahawks now, and Dave Canales, who's in Carolina, I think they look a lot alike. I don't know why. Stefanski in it. I don't know if he'd actually win. Sean McDermott.
Z-Dog said Kevin will hide in the basement.
He would give some passive-aggressive comment. He's like, we're not fighting about this right now, okay? That's not where my focus is.
come to, I just picture them like, with spears, like coming at Kevin Stefanski, and he goes, "We've got to play better. We've got to play better. Guys, this can be resolved. It's okay. It's a team effort here on that." Raheem Morris could be a sneaky one for me too. I like Raheem Morris. I think he's really good.
Where are you at on Nick Sirianni?
Out.
I think he has potential to just be crazy.
If he can't have Jalen Hurts and Saquon Barkley and they're with him, he's
no
done.
Tush push.
Done. No tush push. He's out.
I think Sirianni would be the type of person to bite in a fight, maybe throw a low blow here or there.
I think he's got that potential. As that type of person.
That is one of the lowest comments you can come out of man.
He come over there.
Looks like a guy.
Where are you at on Aaron Glenn? Aaron Glenn's not the biggest guy.
No, but he seems like he's really badass too.
Good dancer.
What's that?
I said good dancer. Do you see him on the sideline?
He is a good dancer.
I see Aaron Glenn as the type of guy that Braves or Dan Campbell to pick up and just throw him over the top rope.
Yeah.
Get out of here. Like Rey Mysterio. Get out of here.
I think it's the former players. It's Vrabel, it's Campbell, it's D'Amico Ryans for me. I think that ends up coming out high-level players, guys that play in the NFL. We haven't brought up McVay. He's not a big guy.
No, but he's scrappy though.
He's scrappy.
He's scrappy.
I would put him in the Shanahan camp. He's smart.
Well, yes,
strategic moves.
Yeah, there you go. So, all right, we brought up head coaching Royal Rumble. I think we brought up everybody. I think the only one we have not mentioned yet is Brian Dable. Yeah. He's a big guy. They
on ESPN get a breaking news. Browns bench Joe Flacco to start rookie Dylan Gabriel.
There it is.
Adam Schefter report.
There it is, Adam Schefter, 4 minutes ago. Browns are benching Joe Flacco for Dylan Gabriel. Browns are informed of changes this morning. Perfect timing. Spencer German's going to join us next. He hosts Locked On Browns. Perfect time to talk to him. And we'll do it next right here in 2 minutes on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Good Wednesday morning to you. Well, if you live over in Delaware County, want to make sure and listen up here. We are noticing some emergency bridge repairs happening in your area. It's on State Route 257, that bridge over Ottawa Creek, really from Taway Road to Smoky Road, and that portion there. It has been closed out of caution. Inspectors say they just noticed more deterioration when it comes to this bridge this morning. So again, it is closed and will be closed until further notice. I'm 10 TV's Brianna Albizu with your Fan Traffic.
Fan Traffic sponsored by Roosters. Roosters is giving away 12 ultimate Buckeye experiences, tickets, sideline passes, trips to a Buckeye first-round postseason game. Register at roosterswings.com.
At Kroger, you never compromise. You get high quality and low prices. Like you never compromise your meal with our spring salad mix that's guaranteed fresh. And you never compromise your budget with lower prices on over 1,000 items. Hand it to Kroger shoppers. You never compromise. Kroger. Fresh for everyone.
Check out this great deal on select Lay's potato chips. They're on sale now. 4 bags for only $10 with your card when you buy 4. Kroger. Fresh for everyone.
Care Heating and Cooling. When you need a company you can trust, call 1-800-COOLING.
Skyline's new chicken chili is here. Now you can enjoy that legendary Skyline taste with a new protein option. Try Skyline's chicken chili on Waze, Coney's, and all your Skyline favorites. Feeling good. It's Skyline time.
When it comes to all-wheel drive vehicles, nobody gives you more to choose from than Toyota, including the best-selling Camry and the best-selling RAV4.
You've also got Toyota's 5 Brothers, which include the best-selling Tacoma and the legendary new 4Runner.
All-wheel drive gives you the traction you need for confident driving on any road, in any weather.
With 25 different all-wheel drive choices, there's only one thing you need to know.
Nobody knows all-wheel drive better than Toyota. Let's go places.
T-Bone and Tyvis is presented by Awaken 180 Weight Loss. Sign up today at awaken180weightloss.com.
Just a reminder, Tyvis thinks all pizza tastes the same. Also a reminder, Tyvis was born without taste buds. You're listening to Bone and Tyvis.
Well, we do have the breaking news, and it is official from the Browns. that Dylan Gabriel will get the start on Sunday in London against the Vikings. Joe Flacco will be the backup, and we're talking about it right here on The Fan. I'm Matt Fontana in for T-Bone this morning. He is Tyvis Powell, and it is an absolutely perfect time to talk to Spencer German. You can follow him on Twitter at Spencito. He is the host of Locked on Browns. Spencer, the news is now. We were so excited just to talk to you about what you thought about the quarterback situation, but mere minutes ago, we know it is now Dylan Gabriel. Spencer, your initial thoughts of Gabriel getting the start over Flacco?
Yeah, listen, I'm not surprised per se because I think we all kind of figured this could happen with how bad the offense has been, and you got to sort of change something. I guess the one thing that I honestly thought after the game on Sunday that they'd maybe wait another week, and the biggest reason why was I just think this week presents some sort of abnormal circumstances. You know, you're going to London, weirder week. You're sort of changing the schedule of, you know, in terms of like how a guy's preparing, and Gabriel as a rookie still kind of getting used to the grind of that NFL week-to-week schedule. So I thought they'd kind of, not that there's ever a perfect situation to start a guy, but I just thought that with the flukiness of the week ahead, they might want to sort of wait, give him more time to kind of prepare, have a more of a normal week, especially with also like the changing parts on the offensive line. They just traded for Cam Robinson. I'm assuming they maybe want to get him in there. So it just feels like they're sort of throwing a lot all at once to kind of get this offense going in the right direction. But I also understand, and it's understandable for sure from Kevin Stefanski's perspective, where you're just trying to breathe some life into this offense and change something, right? Like the offensive line might not be totally fixable this season. The drops and the inconsistencies at the wide receiver position might not be fixable during the season. But one thing you can change is the quarterback and hope that it at least does something differently. I mean, this offense is at rock bottom. All the comments about Flacco looking his age and just not being mobile are very, very sound. I would think this allows you to kind of get back to doing some of the stuff that Stefanski's offense has done in the past, especially when he first got here with Baker Mayfield, where you can kind of roll Gabriel out and try some things and make some throws downfield. So we'll see what all that looks like, but I thought they'd wait one more week, but I also am not as surprised in the least that Stefanski's trying something new here just to get this offense going in a better direction.
Spence, what do you think this does? What message do you think this sends to the rest of the team? Because, you know, if you was listening to post-game interviews, a lot of them still believed in Joe, you know. Now that they announced Dylan as a starter, what do you think that does to the locker room?
Yeah, it's a great question. I think it actually is like the biggest question here because in retrospect, you know, going to a rookie after, you know, leaning into Flacco as a starter to begin the year, you know, we know why they made that decision. It was, we're trying to win now. We think he gives us the best chance to win. And so after just 4 weeks, they're quickly pivoting here. And we all kind of figured if you go to Gabriel or you go to one of these rookies, that it was likely an indication that you're trying to basically evaluate these guys and that the season's kind of going in a different direction. And so, you know, it's convincing the locker room that this isn't about that, but that it's more so about trying to still win right now. Because, listen, 1-3, it hasn't been a great start. Things have been pretty bad for this Browns team out of the gate here. But you're certainly not mathematically eliminated. You could certainly turn things around pretty quickly. If you win this weekend, you're 2-3. You know, in the next couple of weeks, there's opportunities, I think, with the way the schedule lays out, especially after Pittsburgh, where you could maybe even get back to 500 potentially if you get things going in the right direction. So I think it's about Stefanski and his approach to how he probably, you know, talked to the team about this. And I'm assuming he sold it as this idea that the offense just isn't what we need it to be and that this is still about winning. We're not just, you know, tanking the season from here and trying to evaluate Dylan. We just think he gives us a little bit more. And with how bad the offense has been, I think it's actually a pretty easy sell for him in a lot of ways because it can't really be much worse, right? So I think it probably will go over fine in the locker room, but I do think there are some interesting dynamics there because there are we saw what happened last week, right, when the Giants made the switch to Jackson Dart, and you had guys in the locker room who didn't really seem all that excited. I think there was Dexter Lawrence wasn't like all that excited about it. He was just kind of like, that's my quarterback now, so I guess we're rolling with it. So I'm sure there will be people who are, you know, a little skeptical of what this kind of means for the season. But with how bad the offense has been, it's easy to see why this decision had to be made, I think, even for the guys in that locker room.
Talking Browns with Spencer Jeremy. You can follow him on Twitter at Spencito. Follow Locked on Browns. Get it everywhere. Spencer, the host of that. You also hear my 92.3 The Fan up here in Cleveland. Spencer, the other interesting thing is that Joe Flacco, the backup, not Shedeur Sanders. Just your thoughts if that does mean anything, and do you think this might accelerate a timeline for Shedeur to get some playing time, or is that all just contingent on how well Dillon plays?
Yeah, I sort of figured this is the way they would go. I think it's kind of continues to just be a testament to they aren't necessarily ready to get Shedeur out there in that juncture. I figured he'd still be sort of the emergency third quarterback on game days. I don't know that it has to be like an indictment on Shedeur because he's basically just in the same place he's been. I know there was the comments made by Rex Ryan this week where he was basically trying to indicate that from what he's heard, he's not doing the things he has to do or whatever. I don't even know that I buy that. Like Rex Ryan, I think at this point, he's kind of he's a caricature to me. Like I covered Rex Ryan for several years, so I think he's trying to be entertaining. He put Shedeur's name out there. He knows that draws attention on the show that he's on. So I get it. But at the same time, I think the bigger thing would be if we get to a point in the season where even Dillon's struggling, or it might be time for another quarterback change. If Stefanski then goes back to Joe Flacco, like if it goes, it'd be one thing if Dillon gets hurt in a game and Flacco's the backup and you put in Flacco, obviously. But if the season goes off the rails even further and it feels like, okay, maybe we should try something else, or maybe we should give Shedeur a try, and they opt to instead let's go back to Joe Flacco as our starter, that I think would be more so something that maybe is a red flag for Shedeur, where it's like, okay, well, he clearly is they just have no trust in him, and they have no desire to play him this year. And that would also be kind of bizarre to me, because I do think if you have the opportunity to play both these rookies, you need to sort of evaluate both of them and kind of where they're at and all those different things. So I don't know that it has to be some indictment on him right now. I kind of figured this would just be a flipping of the two quarterbacks on the top of the depth chart. We also know they love Dillon Gabriel, so we knew he was going to get the first shot. We knew if there was going to be a chance to make a change here, that was probably going to go to Dillon first. So I think it's just kind of status quo. I don't think it has to be let's all take our pot shots at Shedeur because he's not preparing right and he's still so far behind the eight ball. I just don't know that they deem him quite ready yet. But by the end of the season, I would think he gets his shot as well in some capacity, even if it's just a game or two. But I guess if they were to go back to Flacco first, I think that would maybe be the bigger concern then.
Spencer, do you think that Joe Flacco is on this roster to end the year? Because, obviously when Deshaun comes back, which is crazy to say out loud, when he comes back, he needs a roster spot. Do you think they cut Joe Flacco for him, and then that's how Shedeur becomes quarterback too?
It's a great question because Deshaun Watson is kind of the elephant in the room with this quarterback situation with his team at all times. Now, my feeling on it when we found out he re-ruptured his Achilles back in January was that I didn't necessarily think he'd play for this team ever again, but you can never say never with the Browns, as we know. And there's that possibility he could return to practice this week. I think what's interesting, Kevin Stefanski, though, was really quick. As much as he tiptoed around the starting quarterback question on Sunday and then again on Monday, he was very clear on Monday that Deshaun Watson, he was asked about can he return to practice this week, and he was very, very clear, he's working on his rehab and he's doing what he was supposed to do. He gave a very short answer. He was very direct with it. That, to me, sort of indicates that they don't view him in their plans at this juncture. Now, that could change week to week because we know he has sort of a 5-week window here where he can become activated the 53-man roster, or else he has to stay on the IR. He goes to the IR for the rest of the season. I don't. Based on that answer, I really think that they're just slow playing the Deshaun thing as much as they can. And while his Instagram videos look like he's far ahead and he looks really good and he looks like he could play football and get back out there, I just don't know that they're going to rush to get him back out there. I think they're going to sort of play this slow and then see what the offseason brings in terms of maybe moving on from him if they can. So I'm not factoring him into their future plans as far as that relates to the Joe Flacco question. I kind of feel like this ends with Deshaun just kind of staying where he's at and they don't ever activate him because they don't necessarily think he'll get cleared, and then Flacco still stays on this roster. But absolutely, if it gets to a point where, you know, they have to activate him because he's far enough ahead of schedule or whatever, that he becomes the third quarterback, then I do think there's a world where they can move on from Flacco, yes. But I'm sort of just leaving Deshaun out of the picture for now because I do think with the way Kevin answered that question, they really seem like they're not thinking about him as part of their plans here.
I think they're just trying to avoid a lawsuit or a grievance filed from the union. Let him do his thing. He's over there, but we're not going to get him in there. Spencer, always appreciate it, man. Go follow him on Twitter at Spencito. But you follow Locked On Browns. Well, here on 92.3 The Fan. Spencer, appreciate your time, man. Go Guards today, and we'll talk to you soon, all right?
Absolutely, guys. Appreciate it. Thank you.
There he goes. Spencer does a great job. Covers the Browns. He's in Berea every day and had him on as the breaking news happened with the Browns turning to Dillon Gabriel. All right, let's catch our final break. Bo's going to join us for a little crosstalk. We'll get to the buzzer, and we'll give our own reaction. We had Spencer on right as we found out, so Tyvis, myself, will talk to Bo with the reaction coming down. The Browns are benching Joe Flacco in favor of Dillon Gabriel. That'll happen this weekend. That's all coming up right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Hey there, and welcome to your Wednesday. We are noticing our first crash of the morning, and it's happening over on the north side by Worthington. It's that 270 eastbound direction just past 23. A right shoulder block this morning, definitely causing some delays. So if you're heading towards this area, make sure to pack the patience. I'm 10 TV's Brianna Albizu with your fan traffic.
Dormar, you're kind of hero.
Guys, this season is game on at Synergenics and Low T Center, the MVPs of testosterone replacement therapy. Ready to tackle low energy and achieve your health goals like a pro? We've got the winning game plan with personalized TRT. Book a free consultation and automatically enter for a chance to win autographed sports memorabilia or tickets to major sporting events. Female patients also eligible. For more information or book an appointment, visit trtmvp.com. That's trtmvp.com.
Listen up.
Y'all know what time it is.
Abbott Elementary returns.
Miss Shementi will no longer be teaching second grade. She'll be moving up to teach middle school math in homeroom.
New year.
Preteens are very different than second graders. Every day is like an episode of Scared Straight. What?
Same Abbott.
We live in a post-truth landscape, and these kids hit below the belt, which is where you haven't been touched in years.
Abbott Elementary season premiere.
Tonight at 8:30 on ABC 6.
Good morning, Columbus. It's going to be a good day, and it's going to be big. With the biggest morning news team in Central Ohio, Good Day Columbus. The biggest news, weather, and traffic in town every day. Bringing you over 5 hours of breaking news, live reports, and continuing coverage, and stories that'll make you smile. First Warning Weather gets you ready for the day ahead, and Steer Clear Team Traffic will get you to work on time. Good Day Columbus, weekday mornings on ABC 6. It's going to be a good day.
At Great Lakes Hyundai, the savings are so good. You know the savings are so good. You know the savings are so good. Great cars, great deals, Great Lakes Hyundai. The savings are so good. You know the savings are so good. You know the savings are so good. Great Lakes Hyundai of Dublin. You know the savings are so good. Great Lakes Hyundai of Columbus. Good. GLakesHyundai.com.
Saving money on storage solutions now at Menards. Keep your garage and workspace organized with Rubbermaid. Fast Track is durable and easy to install and adjust with everything you need to maximize your space. Fast Track garage storage systems make it easy to use wall space to hang tools and equipment. Keep your space organized with Rubbermaid Fast Track. And view the weekly flyer for all of our great deals happening this week on Menards.com.
Save big money at Menards.
College is great. You know what else is great? Pizza, which you can buy with your Huntington Bank debit card with the Ohio State University logo. Huntington Bank is proud to be the official consumer bank of the Ohio State University. Let's get more from money. Switch to Huntington Bank. Welcome.
Dormar, you're kind of hero.
When your furnace or air conditioner is broke, we come out that same day. Dormar, home the Tin Man.
Buckeyes. The 2025 football season is here, and that means 3 things: football, game day, and smooth Jameson whiskey. Whether you're catching the game at home, at your neighborhood bar, or soaking up the team spirit at a tailgate, Jameson Ginger and Lime at Ohio State Athletics are a winning combo. So cheers to making game days even better with the official whiskey of the fans. Jameson, proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. Taste responsibly.
Jameson Irish Whiskey, product of Ireland, 40% alcohol by volume, 80 proof. Copyright 2025, imported by John Jameson Import Company, New York, New York.
Hey friends, it's Austin Ward. Covering college football every week shows you how momentum changes everything. That's what Awaken 180 did for me. Once I started, the progress kept building. I feel more confident, more comfortable in my own skin, and I've got energy again. The numbers matter, but the real story is how much better I feel now. If you want that kind of momentum in your life, to do it and then keep the weight off, do what we all did and choose the solution for weight loss. Online at awaken180weightloss.com.
Morning Juice is now live on YouTube. Join Bobby Carpenter and Jeff Thidoff weekday mornings from 6 to 8.
Just search 971 The Fan to catch the live experience or watch on demand.
The Fan. All your favorite fan shows are available when you want them.
Head to 971thefan.com and hit that subscribe button.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. Tyvis Powell helped the Buckeyes win a national championship. T-Bone watched Tyvis Powell help the Buckeyes win a national championship. Equally important, you're listening to T-Bone and Tyvis.
And we got the breaking news this morning. Matt Fontaine in for T-Bone. That's not the breaking news. He's Tyvis Powell. Browns are going to go to Dylan Gabriel. He's getting a start this weekend as the Browns take off for London later today to take on the Vikings. Joe Flacco demoted to 2. We're going to bring in Bo Bishop. He's going to join us. Of course, Bishop and Friends. He'll have all the reaction to that. Jake Trotter joining him today. But Tyvis, I wanted to throw to you first because I thought you had just such a great tweet that you just sent out. That even with this move, Dylan Gabriel, you're so right, man. There's still going to be some Browns fans that don't want to see Dylan Gabriel succeed.
Oh, my goodness. Listen, there is a percentage of this fan base that is like, yes, I'm glad they move on to Joe. Let's go ahead and let Dylan fail so we can get to Shedeur. How do I know this? Because I'm in a group chat with a bunch of people that just said that, so I know that it's a fact.
You know it's there. Bo, I mean, you're up here. Again, the three of us, we're all immersed in this, and I think it's hard because we all love Joe. The playoff run was phenomenal. He wasn't getting it done. And I think that's where I keep coming back to, Bo. It's like, take all the names out of it. It wasn't getting done. The defense was doing their part. I don't know what Dylan Gabriel is going to be, but it just needed the change.
Yeah, and I think, this isn't all on Joe. I mean, they can't protect at the 2 tackle positions at all. They don't really have anything on the perimeter that's very scary right now. Jerry Jeudy had a case of the drops on Sunday against Detroit, so none of that helps. The other thing is when you have tackles that are playing the way that the Browns tackles are currently playing, one thing that you can do to try to buy yourself a millisecond of time is to move the pocket a little bit. And Joe can't do that anymore. He's a man. He's 40, for God's sakes. Like he's not the same athlete that he was a decade ago. Or even a couple of years ago. So they needed a spark in some way. Gabriel will be as prepared as you can be to do this. I feel very confident about that. I don't think anything that's going to happen on Sunday will be something that he has not prepared for. How will he play? I don't know. My hunch is what you're going to get is you're going to see them move in the pocket a little bit. I think you're going to get back into that bootleg game quite a bit. And for Minnesota now, it's a little different. I mean, you're preparing for a lefty who will move the pocket versus a righty who wants to stand in it. So it's a little bit different for Minnesota to play for. But inevitably, and this goes to Tyvis's group chat point, inevitably you need to see both of them. So Dylan Gabriel's mindset should be, I'm going to be the starting quarterback for the Cleveland Browns and make it impossible for them to play Shedeur Sanders. That should be his mindset, that I'm going to play at a level that they never see Shedeur on the field. And now Shedeur's got to do everything behind the scenes to, if that opportunity does come, he's ready for it. And then what they do with Flacco is going to be interesting because there are teams who could use him. I mean, I think about Cincinnati. I think he'd fit perfectly with what they're trying to do. At least it would be fun. They can spin it deep with Higgins and Chase. So lots of layers to this one.
Bo, do you think that it was Joe's lack of mobility to why they operated out of shotgun so much? Because, in years prior to, Kevin loved to go under center because it with the bootlegs and all of those things. But with Joe, they were more shotgun. Why do you think that was?
Well, yeah. I mean, I think that's probably part of it, don't you? Like, he's just not as comfortable. There was a play in the game Sunday where he kind of was flushed out of the pocket, and you could see on the screen, like, you guys probably remember the play, the first down marker, and then it was it was second or third down, and he slid like 3 yards before the marker. And I thought, well, Gabriel probably would have stuck his head down and gotten the 4 yards and kept the drive alive. But, I don't blame Joe. I mean, he's had a long career. Like, that's not what he's all about anymore. So the other thing, I mean, it was so fun with him in 2023, but you also had probably apex Amari Cooper was at that time. And you had you had a really good offensive line.
Yeah.
I mean, Bill Callahan was still coaching offensive line at that point, and you had a ton of talent on that front. I mean, everybody's 2 years older. The middle of that offensive line's all 2 years older. You don't have those tackles anymore, so they're just not as good up front as they used to be. So I think that contributes to it as well.
I tweeted about that exact play, Bo, because I was like, I know it's only second down. I was like, pick up the first down if you can, but I don't want to get hurt. You guys have all the coverage coming up. Bishop and Friends. You got Jake, Scott coming on today. Bo, really appreciate your time. And again, keep tuned in. Plenty of Browns coverage coming up.
Always great talking to you guys.
All right, let's hit it quick. The buzzer. Don't we have a sounder for that, Dylan? Do we not? Do we? No?
Shove it down your throat.
It's time for the buzzer.
I don't do this show often. I was like, I thought there was a buzzer.
Did not want to play. I was pressing the button.
That's all good. That's all good. I brought this up just for you two gentlemen. Do you know what today is? It's International Coffee Day.
Oh, my goodness.
You non-coffee morning show host guys.
We're high on life.
Understand it. I don't understand it. I had one. You know what my lovely wife did? She went and got me another coffee. Because I was up this morning. We're going to the ball game this afternoon.
Are you Starbucksing? Are you doing pumpkin spice?
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. It is a great time of the year. It's my favorite time of the year because it's fall, which is great, but it's pumpkin, and it's the best beer time of the year. Best beer time of the year.
You do Spooky Tooth?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I got some Nosferatu sitting over there, buddy. I got it all right now.
You know Tyvis doesn't drink beer either.
I know. That's what I'm saying. I'm the antithesis of Tyvis. I got my coffee. I can't wait. My wife, God, I love her. She got me another coffee. Going to get over there, but just for you guys, it is International Coffee and World Vegetarian Day. I don't know if you guys are vegetarians or not.
I'm probably the antithesis of a vegetarian.
Carnivore. Guys, so appreciate you having me. Great time. Bishop and Friends coming up your way next. Don't miss it. All the coverage today. The Browns are turning to Dylan Gabriel. T-Bone and Tyvis right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Well, when it comes to your roads this Wednesday morning, still looking pretty busy out there, especially if you're taking 315. That's southbound direction, basically from 315 and 270 all the way towards downtown. Pretty slow moving out there. A similar situation for folks on the west side. If you're heading towards the downtown scene, maybe taking 70 eastbound, 270 all the way to 670 and 70. Also pretty slow moving out there. But probably the worst of it is going to be still over by the airport. 270 southbound, 62 eastbound, and even 670 westbound all over through Gahanna this morning. Looking at the 20s when it comes to your travel times out there. I'm 10 TV's Brianna Albizu with your fan traffic. Make it a great day.